here tonight for the Event 2 finals. Look at this for a shot.
Oh, that's a touch or two, I reckon.
Wow, well, that's a big-time drive.
Oh, touch up to keep them alive.
That is one almighty comeback. Could not have executed that any better. Oh, he threads the needle there, gets a touch-up, but it all comes down to this.
And he's just stolen it.
This is just bowls of the highest quality.
And welcome to the beautiful, stunning Moama Bowling Club for UBC 25. It is Event 2, Day 2, which means it's Finals Day. I'm Chris Green, joined by Benny Jones. Benny, the weather is amazing and the bowls will be just as good.
Yeah, just as the calibre of competition has seemingly gotten better as each day's gone on here at Moama, so has the weather. Good morning to you, Chris. Good morning to everyone who's tuned in via the YouTube or Facebook streams. And yeah, we always get a little bit more excited on these secondary days because we know what awaits us from 2 o'clock preliminary finals, from 4 o'clock our knockout quarterfinals. And then, as we've said, from there on, the stakes go up each and every match, and so does the prize money, with the ultimate reward, a $32,000 winner's check for the team that can triumph in this second event. So it was the Western Wolves Event 1 who will add their name to the honour board in Event 2 here at Moama 2025. We'll find out a little bit later this evening.
Yeah, 6 matches this morning, so over the next 2.5, 3 hours, the final 6 will be determined. Those standings, of course, you can check up on those as well as live scores at ultimatebowlschampionship.com.au/scoreboard. The remaining sectional play will be alternating for the next 6 matches, so we'll have 3 from Section A, 3 from Section B. Starting off with this morning's match with the top of the table, Musgrave Pelicans up against 6th place Melbourne Falcons. For the Pelicans, we have Gary Lawson leading up and Sean Baker skipping. And the world singles champion Ryan Bester on the sideline throwing his support. For the Falcons, Dean River leading and Ben Harbour skipping, with young Harry Coleman, the Australian Junior Fours gold medalist, showing his support from the sideline.
Yeah, so each of these games, as you've touched on, Greenie, with the alternating sections, look, they're all going to be really important to how things will look later this afternoon. For the Musgrave Pelicans, a stunning start to Event 2, currently 5-3, which in itself doesn't sound overly impressive, but their points differential is nudging 200, so it suggests they've been involved in some bumper wins and probably some closer losses, whereas for the Melbourne Falcons, they are sitting 6, 4-4. They have a bonus point, and it is that bonus point that has just seen them sneak inside the top 6. But there's a chasing pack, and it goes all the way down, quite incredibly, to Deer Park Club Gold, who are last on the table, but are only a win and a bonus point away from going into the top 6. So it's all up for grabs. There is nothing guaranteed at this stage. Whether you're first, whether you're 6th, whether you're 12th, you are still a live chance in this Section A today. So, yeah, looking forward to watching how these last 3 rounds of group games unfold.
Yeah, and the bowls, as we saw yesterday, really started to heat up with Event 2. And nothing's changed. Right from the word go this morning, these 4 players, they're on song. Sean Baker's first bowl there, making contact with the Falcons. Toucher to promote the jack towards the Musgrave, who now hold first. That third shot could potentially be theirs. The indication at the moment is, yes, it is. So it's first and third at the moment to Musgrave. Just a little refresher with our scoring here at the UBC. Those scoreboards will look dramatically different to the traditional format.
Oh, wow.
Toucher there from Baker.
Yeah, that was very creative use of those front bowls at the head to get the little touch off the inside and just have enough momentum to carry his bowl there, Sean, into the jack for the first 3 points for the Pelicans.
Yeah, 3 points for touches. So every bowl that touches the jack receives 3 points. At the lead crossover, the team holding a shot will receive 3 points. The conclusion of an end. The first shot is worth 10 points. Second shot, 5 points. Third shot, 3 points. You get first, second, and third, 18 points, and it's an ultimate end.
Decent response there from Benny Hubber to work in very close to second. Second, you can see, would probably just fall the way of Musgrave. That's how our markers have it at the moment. But there is, of course, 1 bowl still to come. Just Another factor of the UBC that players have to contend with is the shot clock. 30 seconds you get from the time you step onto the mat, or effectively really when the previous bowl comes to a rest is generally when the 30 seconds will kick off.
Fair effort.
It is a great effort, isn't it? And that is definitely in for second, third. So you're probably looking at an ultimate end, and I think we'll have that confirmed shortly. And that is a tremendous start.
And it is the ultimate end for Musgrave Pelicans. A brand new team to the UBC. Event 1, sort of just probably finding their gears. But Event 2, they've come to play. And as I said, top of the table in the closest section that we've seen in years. And no wonder with bowls like that.
Yeah, they were probably a touch up and down, and as you said, Greenie, in that Event 1, just trying to get used to the format, getting used to each other as a team. Gary, Sean, and Ryan, it's a team sheet that is littered full of talent and some amazing achievements in the world of bowls. But yeah, they've certainly clicked together in Event 2. They flew out their first 5 games. They recorded 4 wins, and everyone you talk to here at the UBC just places so much importance on that first block of group games. If you can finish in front of the ledger, at least as a minimum 3 and 2, but clearly 4 and 1, or better still 5 and zip. It just sets you up so well to be able to tinker a little bit for your remaining games, but also know that if you can just nail a couple of your last 6, you're a very good chance of finishing top 2, which seemingly is an advantage. You go through to a direct quarterfinal. We saw in Event 1, all of the quarterfinalists who gained direct entry were knocked out in those finals. So you can look at it both ways, but I'd certainly rather be going straight through to a quarter than having to battle my way through a prelim.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see that again this week with the top 2 teams knocked out the first quarterfinals. Close here for the toucher. And Reva.
He's on it.
Toucher there. Of course, those watching on Facebook, YouTube, let us know where you're watching from. We've had a question running all week, who your team would be if you could pick a UBC franchise, maybe even a name as well. Oh, that'd be a good idea. So come up with a name.
Yeah, we need a
As
mascot.
well as your players. Big weight and great shot. Gary Lawson, he has all the shots.
Yeah, team name, the players that would represent your team. You know, if you're looking at a furry mascot or a scaly mascot or just some form of a mascot. Obviously, we know that there's some beauties getting around here in the UBC at the moment, but yeah, we'd love to hear from you on the Facebook, in the comments section, or on YouTube. And to add to that, I'd probably also like to throw it out there as to the players you'd like to hear come and join us here in the commentary. We've had some great guests stop by. Barry Lester's been here, Ali Forsyth. We've had Shannon McElroy, Sean Ingham did a couple of stints. In fact, Nugget loved it so much he just kept coming back. We couldn't get him off the mic. But yeah, if there's any other players here that are doing their thing at the UBC and you'd like to hear some of their thoughts, and maybe we can find out a little bit more about the person behind the bowler, put in a request, and then we'll put the hard word on them, maybe put them under the pump and tell them that they're a wanted talent on the mic. We're just having a measure here for this. And this is, as you said, Greenie, yesterday on the coverage, the only time through the course of an end, a live end, that the measure can come out at the changeover.
Yeah, it's all important, 3 points. Benny, what would your team be called? It would be the Bendigonian somethings?
Yeah, well, I was thinking about that. Bendigo teams generally have been associated with gold, obviously with Gold Rush, but I feel like that's been done to death a little bit. Maybe the Bandits?
Yes.
The Banditos? I'm not sure what the mascot would look like. Would take on some form of bikey leather or something. But yeah, I'd love to see. I mean, I know that in years gone by, and I've had some discussions with some people. Mark Smith, who's actually been one of the regular followers of the UBC and comments away on our Facebook. I think I had some discussions with him a few years ago about the possibility of trying to get in a Bendigo team and a franchise. Maybe we need to, Mark, catch up and revisit those conversations, because, yeah, I'd love to see some Bendigo representation. There is so much talent as far as bowling is concerned. It's a huge sport in the region, Central Victoria. So maybe we'll just try and put the hard word on a few local businesses and see if we can get something up for 2026.
That could be the easy part. The hard part could be limiting to 3 players.
Yeah, and that's exactly right. I mean, just as I said, if we were to pick just locally, I'm sure we'd come up with some brilliant talent. Of course, nowadays, Greenie, you're residing in, is Truganina?
Yeah, Truganina.
What would be the Truganina nickname?
That's a very, very good question. Yeah, well, Western United, the A-League side, they're not far from there. Well, they weren't far from there.
They weren't far. They didn't last long, unfortunately. Yeah, it wasn't quite the outcome the A-League were hoping with Western United, sadly. Like the Truganina Tremors, Terriers. I'm just trying to think of something that's got that sort of TT about it. Can't have the Thunder, because that's already been taken. Koalas have got ownership of that. But, yeah, get on the Facebook page, YouTube, if you're following on the streaming there. Tell us where you're from, and if you were to pop your own little franchise team into the UBC, who's playing for you, what are you calling yourself, and if you've got a mascot, throw that in the mix as well.
Just going to fall shy there. Musgrave will extend their lead here. Falcons pick up 5 courtesy of second, but further 13 points there for Musgrave. They move along to a nice 34-17 lead.
Yeah, picking up again where they've sort of left off from day one of this second event and looking to, as I said, consolidate their top spot. It seems so strange to say a team with a points differential of nearly 200 after 8 games is still no guarantee, not even just to finish in the top 2, but even to make the top 6. If they were to slip up this morning, there's a big chasing pack that are ready to take their spot. So that's why I think we've seen this start from Gary and Sean, because they realise that to win this one just makes the rest of this morning's group games a little more comfortable for the Musgrave Pelicans. The Falcons, simply, as we know, they just need to keep winning.
Pretty handy bowls here from Dean Reaver.
Yeah,
he's already got 2 touches and 2 lead shots.
Watch for his second bowl. That's where he's been finding the magic, with 2 touches on both of his second bowls in the opening 2 ends.
One thing we know from Dino too is he will watch this back. He's a big viewer of his own matches.
Yes, was an interesting roundtable discussion last night following the day's play that there have been some suggestions that, I mean, I've heard of people Googling themselves. And I must admit, just quietly, Greenie, I think I've done it a couple of times, but certainly I don't know about the YouTubing of oneself. But I can't come up with a toucher for a second shot on this end, but still holds shot.
Yeah, at least he gave it a chance and he's finished in a good area, because what's been happening is that although he's been getting the lead shot at the crossover, ultimately they've dropped the first shot. They've only actually picked up the second shot out of the 2 ends.
So 1 to play here for Dino. You're looking to get this one in nice and close, perhaps register a toucher, take the 6 points and eat into this deficit. It's not going to be a toucher, but they will pick up 3. So margin back to 14, courtesy of that lead shot at the change.
Yeah, good areas there. As you said, the further 3 points there for the Falcons. It's just a matter of, can they hold back Sean Baker? And you saw the devastating work on the first end in this direction.
Yeah, so just looking at the numbers too. So Dean is now responsible for 15 of the Falcons' 20 points, courtesy of his work at the lead.
And once again, Sean Baker. It's important here for Hubba with his first to really to reach that and work off that last shot bowl. Trailer Jack himself. Yeah, nothing really there for the dead weight.
been dialed in early this morning, Sean Baker. It's been a tremendous start to his day 2. This one rolling underneath and shy a couple of feet, about a metre from the jack. So another opportunity here for Benny Hubbard.
Needs to be played while it's open and available.
This looks to have somewhat of a better track. Has it got the weight? Not quite.
The thing is there, I think he's worried about overplaying it and moving the jack too far.
With the Musgrave bowls at the back, yeah.
You've got to be playing that weight to reach there. The 2 short bowls, they're just 2 dead bowls.
Unique delivery style, Sean Baker, when he brings the arm back, you're almost certain there's a drive coming. It's a fantastic bowl again. Just missing the jack to the high side. So still holding shot here, Musgrave. 2nd and 3rd with the Falcons.
So we're going to see some weight here. He's going to try and get the cannon? No. So he's going to stick to the same shot. I thought he might have tried to play, see if he can remove that blue. Obviously the cannon was lining up with the jack, which wouldn't have been the best result. So he's trying to play the hard shot now, especially with that shorter bowl there. It's just going to sail through. He would have loved to have had that weight with his previous bowl, which was on perfect track.
Yeah, so really tight end. Both teams, a little bit of ducks and drakes about that. All it means in the wash-up is that Musgrave will extend their lead by 2. So 44 plays 28. And again, just looking comfortable enough here, the Musgrave Pelicans, without having to do anything too spectacular. So the pressure now on the Falcons to make a bit of the play here in this 4th end.
And the perfect time to have a look around some of the other scores. Moama Green 46 lead the Carlo Koalas 32. Port Sorell Sharks 37 trail the NC Raptors 50. Broadbeach 38 trail the Aussie Cool Joeys 46. Lawn Bowls to you, Windsor Centurions 51. Lead the Deer Park Club Gold side 33. And Warilla 34 lead Dandenong 23.
Yeah, well, the Raptors, the other team in the top 2, so they're off to a solid start there up against the Sharks. And as we've touched on, much better performance. No, it looks as though they might have coughed up the lead against Broadbeach, but the Aussie Cool Joeys and the Ruse have had much better events after a disappointing start to their week here in Moama. So unusual to see that almost 4 completed ends in for the leads. That we haven't seen a toucher yet from Gary Lawson.
Now, he played that great bowl to rip Dino's off on the 2nd end. Once again, Dean leading very well here.
He is. It's effectively his lead bowling and scoring that has kept the Falcons in this contest. The skips get the responsibility of closing the deal. This looks good from Gary, so he might have heard me in the comms. Does he get a touch on the way through? Very close, but what a great bowl it is. In for lead shot.
Yeah, no touch, but the perfect correction.
So what can Dean River respond with? Can he keep his perfect record of the lead shot intact? It's not going to be far away. I tell you what here, Chris Green. Look at that.
Dean River.
Brilliant.
Mr. Worldwide.
Again, no toucher like you alluded to with Gary's shot, but as good as a toucher and maintains that record of 4 from 4 now. Brilliant work there from Dean River and just gives the Falcons another little sniff here, trailing by 13.
You know what I would like to see? I'd like to see Moama Black up against the Falcons, because potentially there we could see Dean up against his uncle, Alex Marshall.
Yeah, a little family affair, a little bit of, I'm sure, rivalry over the Christmas dinner table in a few weeks' time.
no doubt a bit of banter as well.
Oh, yeah. Would anyone be able to understand the banter other than those two, particularly with Dino?
Yeah, well, understand Taddy. Dino sometimes rush through things.
We love the Scottish accents, and it just adds to the flavour here as the international flavour, of course, of the UBC with some of the best bowlers from all around the globe. Descending on Moama for these 6 days of ultimate bowls.
Huge effort there from Baker. That perfect weight.
Things have tightened up too over there with the Port Sorell Sharks and the Raptors. We'll keep an eye on that. The end of the fourth, and I think they're Port Sorell holding an ultimate end as well. So they lead by 2. We'll wait for scores to update, but they could skip even further ahead. We'll give you an update at the end of this fourth end here on our TV rink.
Yeah, this will be the section A, where there will be the most changes this morning. Every team heading here today knew they were a chance of finals. Big weight here from Baker. What's the connection? Oh, just missing. Collecting his own. So the Falcons all of a sudden, holding first and second, trailing by 13.
And there is an opening here for an ultimate end if Benny Hubbard can work this one in close to the jack. They already hold first, second, so he's just got to finish ahead of the closest blue bowl, and I reckon he's going to just about do it here, Greenie.
And a toucher?
And a toucher, just about. But ultimate end, which is a huge moment in this match and a big turnaround. 18 will go on to the score for the Melbourne Falcons, and they, as we turn into this fifth and final end, now lead by 5, overturning a 16-point deficit after 3 completed ends. Great bowling from Benny Hubbard and Dean River.
Yeah, by holding Musgrave scoreless there and collecting the ultimate end of their own, they've really turned this game on its head.
Yes, so pressure now back on the Pelicans and back on Gary Lawson, who has been out-bowled a little bit here in the lead. There's another 3.
3 there for Dino.
On cue. Now the pressure just goes up another notch or 2. Superstar of the sport, Gary Lawson, what can he respond with as the Falcons skip out by 8? So the other thing players might have to contend with a little bit today is the ever-persistent flies that seem to exist here in Moama. Walk this morning, I spent half of it swatting them away from my face. I think people driving past thought I was probably losing the plot.
You might have got a ride that could have thought you were hitchhiking. This is a good bowl here from Dean. As we saw, Gaz's first bowl just touched quick, but he finished right on the tee. So a bad shot there from Dean. Falcons lead by 8, and Dean's covered the jack. So it's going to be hard until that moves to see any further touches.
Yeah, you can see that with Gary's bowl coming down the green now that he's trying to get to it. And as a result, it's just pushed that one a little tight. The weight was really good, but it's just making it really tough for him to get any access to that jack. And we've got the lead shot to decide after the next couple of bowls. And at the moment, it's looking pretty safe in the hands of the Melbourne Falcons, who might end up heading into the skips, fifth and final end, leading by 11, unless Gary Lawson can do something spectacular here. Instructions from Sean Baker at the other end.
Yeah, Dino wouldn't have been happy with that falling short. The only good part is it's pretty much right on the line, so it makes it a lot harder to get to that bowl. Interesting here from Gaz. Does he try and draw another one close to give Bakes that opportunity, or does he run the bowl? Well, he's playing weight to try and get to the bowl.
It's not going to be far off, Greenie.
He's close. Gary Lawson.
Oh, no.
What?
Well, I have to have a wait here as the players assess, but
Be a little bit of a measure here,
no,
potentially.
That's a shake of the head there from Sean Baker. I mean, I haven't...
Dean's still scratching his head there.
I haven't confirmed it yet, and we're going to go to the measure. The initial reaction from Sean Baker was that Maybe you'd just fallen out too far. So we see Dean there having a look at the Musgrave bowl first. Now we'll turn his attention to his Melbourne Falcons bowl to the back. See, that's come up a touch short. So, yeah, they've got it. So
And Dino completes the clean sweep of lead shots.
Yep. That'll look fantastic on his individual player stats, which will be updated pretty much by the bowl. And speaking of updated, ultimatebowlschampionships.com.au/scoreboard, you can get all of the latest scores and updates. And a few matches already completed in Section A round 9. Might get you to whip through those quickly, Greenie.
Yeah, Moama Green 80 have defeated Koalas 43. Port Sorell Sharks, there's one bowl left in that match, so we'll come back to that. But Broadbeach 80, they've defeated Aussie Cool Joey's 52. The Joeys held a slender lead early in the match.
They did, yeah.
Good shot there from Bakes, and that was the beauty of Gaz's bowl there. He's opened it right up. Windsor Centurions have had a big win, 90-36 over Deer Park Club Gold. And one bowl remains in the Warilla-Dandenong match. Warilla 45, Dandenong 39, but Warilla holding first, second and third.
Tell you the score that scares me there is Broadbeach. We had Nuggetingham Shawnee up here on the commentary, and he suggested they were sort of just meandering a little bit through the action yesterday. But if they can win their 3 games today, obviously find their way into the top 6, yeah, there's no one that wants to come up against the Broadbeach Bulls in a cutthroat final.
No, and surely you can't have that bad luck as they received in Event 1 either.
Yeah.
Baker once again here for the Pelicans. He draws another. Well, there's only 2 bowls, but there is plenty left in this match.
Yeah, so as it stands, you know, as far as the positioning of bowls and the projected score, that would have Musgrave at 59 and would have the Melbourne Falcons at 58. So there's a lot to play here. Timeout called by Ben Hubber, just so he can have a little bit longer to assess his plan of attack here. A toucher would be massive. Obviously would change the scoring. And the Falcons might find themselves just far enough clear if Ben Hubbard could register a toucher here. Otherwise, the final save this match will go with Sean Baker. And at that point, Musgrave might already hold match. He's not going to get the toucher, and he's not going to affect the scoring of the bowls. So now they do the quick maths here, the Pelicans boys. They're not even going to bowl their last.
No, it's enough.
No, they've figured that out. So it's going to be a 1-point ball game. But the Musgrave Pelicans have defeated the Melbourne Falcons, and they'll stay on top. And for the Falcons now, well, it's D-Day for them. They must win, you would think, their last 2 to be any chance to make the top 6.
Yeah, final score 59-58. And well, as we said, the big shot there, Gary Lawson just peeling off that last bowl and giving the room to Baker, who in that direction, well, in both directions, but more so in that direction, he hardly had a bowl outside of a foot. So when you had all that room to draw, he capitalised on that, and in the end didn't even need to play his last.
Yeah, entertaining contest. I mean, as I said, we've been pretty lucky here on our TV rink that for the majority of matches we've seen some really high-scoring affairs. Sometimes that doesn't always lend itself to the most competitive of matches, but that one, yeah, probably the exception to the rule, 59-58, right down to the wire, right down to that final bowl. In fact, the actual final bowl wasn't required, but certainly Ben Hubber had an opportunity there, couldn't quite get the job done, and that's, as I said, a significant win. We'll be checking in on the Section A standings, obviously, throughout the course of the morning. Let's see what it does mean. And it'll actually see the Melbourne Falcons drop out of the top 6. And look who's coming with a bullet. The Broadbeach Bulls, I touched on them earlier. They're up to 3rd now, Musgrave. They sit clear out on top by a point with Port Sorell Sharks, courtesy of a draw and a bonus point, just 1 back.
Now our attention swings to Section B once more, and it will be Exodus up against Aussie Cool Ruse. So we've got Dean McQuinney leading up for the Ruse, and Big Damo McGee, the MVP, the skip. And for Exodus, we have Peter Taylor leading for Lee Schreiner.
Yeah, and very similar to our first game this morning where we had 1st versus 6th. This is 1st versus 5th in Section B, with Exodus currently sitting on top and the Aussie Cool Ruse in 5th position. And much like we spoke about earlier with the Melbourne Falcons for the Aussie Cool Ruse. Simply the equation, well, they just have to keep winning. But this section, in fact, Section B, if we just have a look at those standings again, Greenie, I know you've got them there in front of you. It's just, it's a little bit more open as far as the points gathered and the likely top 6 contenders than Section A, which is just so tight from top to bottom, whereas there's a little bit of a margin that's developed here. The Southern Stars, they're out of contention. UBC and Adelaide would need everything to go their way today. So you're probably looking at maybe 9 teams that can vie for 6 spots. Exodus out on top. They just know if they keep winning, no one's going to be catching them, and they'll go through to a direct quarter-final. The Flemkeen Colts, off the back of Event 1 being runners-up, they're setting themselves up for another big tilt as well.
Yeah, the Western Wolves, Event 1 winners, just sitting just outside. Interesting to see if they can do enough to get into the finals. Because as you said, it's pretty much just a free swing for them now. They've won their first event, Event 1 champions. You can relax a little bit for the rest of the week. You know you've already got something out of the week, but if you can get those consistent performances throughout the next 2 events, they could be looking at the ultimate team.
And another thing I've just sort of noted there on our Section B standings is, and as much as I was just amazed by the fact the Pelicans on top in Section A had such an incredible points differential to the good, plus 198. Exodus is the exact opposite. They've won 6 games, only lost 2, but they've got a for and against of plus 10, which tells me they've probably had some pretty close wins. They've had maybe a couple of those heavy losses, but it's balanced out to see the differential there just at 10. So that in itself is a little bit different. But look, again, winning's everything, and at the moment they're doing that pretty consistently. And if they can knock up another win here against the Aussie Cool Ruse, I'd say they're just about a lock for a top 2 spot.
Still no touches. 3 for the Aussie Cool Ruse, courtesy of the lead shot at the crossover. And just starting to warm up these players. Of course, it is their first match of the day.
Yeah, that's right. These Section B players would have been able to set the alarms just half an hour later than those in Section A, and a little bit of that later start. But, geez, what a beautiful day it is here in Moama, and players, I'm sure, will be appreciating just a little bit more of that consistent weather, albeit it's going to be a touch warmer. And that's an understatement over the next few days, with the expected tops in and around the mid-30s. So tomorrow will be probably the toughest day of the lot, and the long group game days that start at about 9:30 and finish around 8 o'clock.
Wait here on the backhand from Schreiner, looking for the shot bowl. He gets the shot bowl. So they will have first and third. Nice little conversion there. Intent in the call from Taylor as well.
So Damien McGee now looks just a touch tight.
Well, he's done enough.
Yeah.
And he's going to stick around too.
And I think for first and second. So obviously one to come here from Lee Schreiner, and there is a fair bit of room for him to work with to get inside and still pick up the shot. You'd back him in 9 times out of 10, possibly even more than that, as it got the weight. He's just left that a touch shortly, and in the end, I don't think we'll see any change to the scoring. First and second with the Aussie Cool Ruse. Exodus pick up the third. And it's 18-3 after the first completed end.
Yeah, a bit of a soft start to the match. I don't think that's going to last long. But the Ruse, they'll be happy with the points they've accumulated already.
And look, we don't play favourites here at the UBC as far as certainly our commentary and analysis is concerned. But I think we'd like to see the Aussie Cool Ruse make it through to the knockout finals. They had a pretty disappointing event in Dandenong 12 months ago. Of course, they've got the Joeys now have come in, so the second representation from Aussie Cool. But I think when you've got characters like Damien McGee, and it was a couple of years ago when he was named as the MVP and they made some deep runs, that he was the star of the show, and the crowds were really embracing his personality, and he obviously takes his bowls very seriously. He's a very good bowler, but he also likes to ham it up to the crowd, and he likes to get that involvement an interaction happening. So obviously they still need to get the results to get there. But yeah, if they're through to a preliminary or a quarterfinal later on, I think that'll just add to the excitement of the afternoon.
Yeah, it's always great to see a different mix each event for the finalists.
It's a fantastic bowl here from Dean. Gets the touch. 3 more to the Aussie Cool Ruse.
And he holds on to shot as well.
Yeah.
That is finesse.
Yeah, we get a really good view of that from our vantage point here. Greeny, and he's almost resting on that jack. Peter Taylor with his response.
So a change of hands here. See on screen there, Big Damo. Don't need to get another one right onto it because more than likely any movement on that orange will be down. You can just hang on the high side a touch and get past to the probably second or third shot.
Yep, definitely in for third. So this will be Peter Taylor now, final bowl for the leads in this second end.
Is he going to move enough? I don't think so.
No, it looked like it was going to. For all money there, about 2 or 3 metres away from the jack. I thought that Peter had got that line and that speed absolutely spot on, but it actually held its line and didn't turn as much as he would have liked. And it's another 3 the way of the Aussie Cool Ruse. They're 2 from 2 with the lead shot at the changeover. And the margin now is out to 21.
We're 7 ends into coverage. And so far, Ben, every single end, the lead shot has been with the orange side.
Yeah, a day for the orange bowls here at Moama. There's Damo McGee. He wants it to miss. You can see the, well, in the end, he's, if anything, just nudged his a little closer, and now that front orange bowl is resting on the jack. It would make for a nice photo, that, the way the bowls are positioned at the moment. A nice start from Damo McGee, the skip of the Aussie Cool Ruse. Schrainer heading underneath. First and third with the Ruse. Made a really strong start to their morning.
Okay, Big Damo, what do you got this time? He'd love to be on a higher line, get through, past. Yeah, he's done just that.
Definitely that higher line you spoke of, Greeny. So now the focus back to Lee Schrainer on the mat. Staying with that forehand side. Really wanting to displace this orange bowl that is resting on the jack. He's not going to be far away from it. Oof, it's a good effort.
Incredible effort. All he needed was just that slight touch.
So early stages of this match, but these next 2 bowls already take on a pretty large level of significance. The Ruse lead by 21, holding shot. Damo just looking to drift this one out to the back. And now the final say of the end from Lee Schrainer, the World Singles Champions of Champions winner.
Needs to hurry.
Yeah, it's trying. It's going to get there. It's going to get to his front blue.
Wow.
Bold, great effort. Again, won't change the scoring. It'll be first to the Ruse, second, third Exodus, 34-11. They extend their lead after 2 completed.
He couldn't get much closer there without making movement on the orange. Are we content there with getting second and third, just getting their scoreboard ticking over a touch? There's no doubt there's plenty of scoring power in this side. But so far, the Aussie Cool Ruse have just been that little bit more consistent Peter Taylor, can he secure the lead shot for the blue side for the first time today? As we know, we get on some incredible runs here in the UBC with the different colours, and as we saw on day one, there was almost a time where each of the 6 rinks that we're currently playing finished with an ultimate end. We were just waiting for the TV rink.
Yeah.
Okay, well, here's the chance. Peter Taylor here. Change of hands. He jumped right on top here. Big points on offer for Exodus. Once again, just leaving that room. Dean McWhinney, can he make the correction? He's up after it. I'm not sure. How's the pace? Well, the pace looks good. It needs a clear road.
I was going to say the pace looks just about spot on, and he's going to just fall short. So I was about to comment on the fact that we're nearly halfway through this match. We've only seen 1 toucher so far. That was courtesy of Dean McWhinney in that second end, but couldn't have done much better with his last bowl there.
And it's a further case of the lead shot, the way of the orange side, the Aussie Cool Ruse.
8 from 8. Certainly all favours orange at the moment.
So the halfway mark of the match, 26 points the margin. It's at this sort of stage where the Exodus need to be making sure they have the shot. Because the Aussie Cool Ruse, they can be quite content with just grabbing the shot, and if they're giving away second or third, they're still gaining that extra 2 points each time.
Yeah, that's right. They don't have to really create the pace here at the moment. They've set themselves up early in this match. Now it's on Exodus to try and manufacture some big point scoring ends. That's just to get themselves back within striking distance. Still a lot to play out though, and look, any team with Lee Schreiner in it, you never feel that safe. So Damien McGee at the mat. Very keen to see his Aussie Cool Ruse into a preliminary final. Maybe they've got aspirations and eyes on something even better than that. It is tied in Section B. See Dean McWhinney just asking that to slow as it passed the jack, and in the end it's a good grouping of orange bowls, but now to Lee Schreiner, his second last bowl of this third end.
Yeah, down the backhand, he's got to give himself a chance here. Get to that shot bowl. Looks like he's in the area, just needs to clear the front. He just needed to clear the front.
Yeah, and you can see the frustration. Well, we certainly could. On the face of Lee Schreiner there, it looked like he had just about executed that perfectly. Unfortunately, bowl in front deviated it off its path. It looked like it was going to certainly crash into the Aussie Cool Ruse shot bowl. Now Damo. This looks like it's tracking well. Look, this looks like it's brilliant. Just gets it a little bit closer. A touch frustrated there, Dean McWhinney, because now, with 1 to come, Lee Schreiner, here's a target there.
There's a long way to go in the match, but there's a lot riding on this.
Massive, yeah, absolutely massive. Ultimate end, weight from Schreiner.
Looking for good connection here. He's got the front solid. He's got it through the jack, and they have got the closest bowl at the back of the ditch there, Exodus. So,
yeah,
one thing's for sure, they will be getting the first shot, which is 10 points.
Yeah, well, you mentioned the significance of that bowl from Lee Schreiner, and that has kept them well and truly in the match. Had that missed, had that been just a slight little bit more to the right-hand side, that's missing everything, and that's an ultimate end. They're down, but now 21 plays 45.
And we'll have a quick little swing around the rinks to see some of the other scores. Golden State 18 trail the Adelaide Heat 39. Moama Black 52 over the Wildcard 29. Start of N4 there. Nearing the end of N4 in the match between Deer Park Club Blue and the Southern Stars. It is the Stars with a 5-point lead, 46-41. Koalas 62 over the Western Wolves 19 halfway through N4. And Bundura 27, Flemken Colts 27. And that is just after 2 ends.
Yeah, Koana, that's a big result for them at the moment against the Western Wolves. And speaking to my man, Mitch Sidebottom, Adelaide Heat just have to win all 3 games. They had an indifferent day yesterday, and Mitch said, look, they know the equation's pretty simple. They just win 3 and hope a few results fall their way, and maybe they could find a way to sneak in, but it would be a big ask. And Deer Park Club Blue up against the Southern Stars, who we spoke about earlier, probably the only team you can run a line through as far as finals contention. Well, the Deer Park boys have got a fight on their hands there, it seems. Lead shot bowl at the moment with Exodus. They trail by 24. Despite all of Lee's great work in that last end, it was actually the Aussie Cool Ruse who added to their lead by 1 from the previous end. So still need to come up with something really special. And there's a last opportunity now for Dean McWhinney to potentially add an additional 3 to the Aussie Cool Ruse scorecard.
Yeah, you mentioned some of those sides who you can put a line through, but there's still a couple of matches where...
Get a toucher here. It might be 6. It's going to be 6.
And it's the lead shot once again.
Yeah.
So those teams you can put a line through, that they're still out there to do a lot of damage because
absolutely
they take a lot of love out of the fact that they can knock off some of the bigger teams or some of the teams who have had more success in that event.
Yeah, and look, the Southern Stars, as I said, if they are to miss, but if they win their 3 games today, they obviously pack their kit bags up this afternoon. They head back to the hotel. They have a chat. They feel pretty good about themselves, and they know that coming back here tomorrow for event number 3, they've got a little bit of momentum and a bit of confidence behind them. Maybe they'll find a combo or a duo that seems to work really well. There is a lot to be gained, even if the ultimate reward of playing finals is out of reach. Here it's the TV rink, though. The Aussie Cool Ruse up against the top team, Exodus. We said they had to keep winning, and at the moment they're in a very, very nice position with just a tick under an end and a half to play. So this is Damo McGee looking to get to the back, and a big thumbs up there from Dean McWhinney because it's not far from the tee. Nice bowling from Damien McGee.
Yeah, it's huge here for the Ruse. If the Ruse can hold on and have a win with the current scores and the way they are, and Western Wolves and Golden State in 7th and 8th, they're currently behind. So if they are to get beaten, Kawana Thunder, though, they're up against the Wolves, so they would jump up. But it just gives that extra little buffer there for the Ruse if there is any late slip-ups.
Yeah, and it will actually take them to just 1 point behind Exodus, despite Exodus's great start. As I said, that chasing packet is there, and it will be ready to pounce. If they're to have a slip-up this morning and lose 2 of their 3, or possibly even worse, 3 of their 3, we saw it happen in Event 1. Teams that looked really safe in the top 2, you blink, and all of a sudden they're actually missing the top 6. First and third here with the Ruse. Just 2 bowls to come in this end. This is crunch time now for Exodus. Once again, like it did at the last end, probably hinges on this bowl from Lee Schreiner.
He's in the area. Can he get past the front?
Of course he can.
He does.
But
Damien McGee with his safety from his first 2 bowls. Just putting him in the perfect areas.
I'd suggest that's ultimate end. So really, that's basically what I was just about to say. Thank you, Dean McWhinney. Down the other end, he said, look, unless you're backing yourself in here to get a toucher, you might as well throw this onto the grass green next door because there's really nothing to be gained. They get the ultimate end. See, Tamo's actually nearly thrown that on the grass green. And that is a huge result. So they're home now, the Aussie Cool Ruse. 69 plays 24. So that is a lead that is insurmountable with 1 end to play. And look, take nothing away from the Aussie Cool Ruse because they have just been superb in this match from start to finish. Both players, Dean McWhinney, Damien McGee, certainly switched on this morning.
Benny, what we're going to see here too is you touched on Exodus and their differential of being just plus 10.
Yep.
A big loss here, and they're going to drop quite a way down the table. We could be seeing Exodus in 5th spot after this match.
Yeah, and that was a sort of, I guess, in a roundabout way, that was the point I was making before we got to this matches starting, is that you do just leave yourself a little exposed there. You know, winning's great if it's by narrow margins. I mean, a win's a win. Geez, Dean thought nearly had a cramp there as he let that go off the mat. I think he was just frustrated. But you have a heavy loss, the chasing pack start recording some wins, and then you find yourself, because of that points differential, dropping maybe 1 or 2 additional spots. So yeah, they've got a bit of regrouping to do after this Exodus. I guess trying to win this end and minimise the damage is now really key for them. Currently 45 the margin. At the moment, maybe an additional 3, and it is nice work there from Peter Taylor. So that's a start. Margin's now 42, and that will reduce to 39 because that's 3 bowls completed now for Dean McWhinney, and it is Exodus with the lead shot. Can Peter Taylor sneak in there for another touch-up?
And for the first time today, the blue side with the lead shot.
Yeah, it's taken 10 ends, but we got there. And that last toucher as well from Peter Taylor. It's Exodus's first toucher, I think no second toucher for the match. So it's been tough going all round, lead shot. So margin back to 39. They can't be caught, the Aussie Ruse, but as we know now, for Exodus, it's damage control time.
What we're starting to see too is a lot more bonus points.
Mm.
So teams who have been defeated and score 63 or more.
Bundora's is another form line that makes for some interesting reading. 4 wins, 4 losses, a bonus point, plus 142.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where they do finish in the wash-up. We'll have a quick look at some of the other scores. Adelaide Heat, 63. Lead Golden State, 21. Moama Black, 73. Wildcard, 35. Deer Park Club Blues, 65. Lead Southern Stars, 55. 1 bowl remaining.
They've bounced back there, the Deer Park boys.
Koalas, 62. Lead the Western Wolves, 43. Western Wolves holding first and second. And Bundoora, 47. The Colts, 40. So close one there.
Yeah, that game on rink 6 seems to be, has been since the start this morning. I don't know if they had any issues getting underway, but they're just a little bit further behind some of these other results. But we're arguably looking at Exodus, the top side, losing, and the Flemken Colts, who currently sit second. They are in a almighty battle. Lee Schreiner almost a toucher there. Couldn't have gone much closer if he tried. Flemken Colts up against Bundoora, the team we were just talking about, and they're, as I said, no sure thing, trailing by 10 with an end and a half to play. So we could see Greenie, the top 2 sides in this section, beaten to kickstart day 2 of event 2.
Yeah, and as we're going to see all morning, there's going to be a lot of changes to those standings. There wasn't any teams who actually could turn up today and saying, well, we've done enough already to make finals.
Final bowl here from Lee Schreiner, so this is just to decide on the margin. Can they work in for an ultimate end to finish? I mean, it would be handy, maybe an ultimate end and a toucher. Don't think it's going to be the toucher, but they will get the ultimate end. So a little bit of the bleeding stop there for Exodus, but in the end, it's Aussie Ruse 69 defeating the top team from Section B coming here this morning. Exodus in 48, the margin is 21 to wrap this one up. Great result, Aussie Ruse. And we're going to find out very soon what that means as far as the standings are concerned, because with some of these matches completing, we can see that Deer Park Club Blue has just wrapped up their match against the Southern Stars, so they've had a win. And here on our TV rink, it was the Ruse over Exodus, so there's a lot of chopping and changing going on, and we're only 2 games into this second morning of play.
Yeah, next up we have Lawn Bowls to you, Windsor Centurions and the Aussie cool Joeys this time. So it'll be interesting as well because the Centurions in the event 1, they were second coming into the finals day and dropped down to 8th. Then we saw yesterday on day 1 of this event, they were sort of right at the top, and then they lost their last. I think they lost their last 4 matches.
Yeah. So while we get set for this one in Section A, just wondering if we get Phil the Section B standings back up on our screen. We'll try and have a look at that. Here they come. So look at that. The change already, Greenie. Moama Black and Deer Park Club Blue have now gone to the top 2 spots. Exodus dropped down to 3rd. The Aussie Cool Ruse up to 4th. And the Flemken Colts, with their game still to be decided, have gone from 2nd to 5th. Koalas into the top 6. Bundura, well, if they win that match, of course, that's still ongoing against Flemken, they will go into the top 6. That section has seen a complete turnaround with a number of teams either elevating 3 or 4 spots or some dropping back the other way.
We got Mr. Silky Smooth, Brendan Egan, skipping for the Lawn Bowls to you, Windsor Centurions. Their lead, Jason Heath. We've got Aaron Hewson leading up for the Joeys and skipped by Benny Twist, 2022 Com Games silver medalist in the triples. Third player for each of those sides, Christian Crocker for the Centurions, and for the Joeys, Bolivia Millerick.
Yeah, so massive. I mean, they're all big games, but in this Section A for these 2 sides, battling away to try and make it through to the top 6. We can see that the Joeys are in that position right now in the top 6. So they just have to ensure that they don't give anyone behind them an opportunity to leapfrog them. And the Windsor Centurions just need to stem the damage from yesterday's late results, which saw them drop well out of the top 6. But they are only a point back from that 6th spot occupied by the Joeys. So really this is the old 6-point game. The winner could go into the 6th. The loser will either fall further away from the pack or, in the case of the Joeys, drop out of the 6 altogether. 7 points separating top spot and 11th spot. 2 games to go.
Yeah, good start here too from Hewson. Last time we saw the Centurions on the TV rink in an AM match, Benny,
Yeah.
they came out of the blocks firing, 54-0.
Yeah, I was still sort of not sure that actually really happened, Greenie. It was really a crazy start to yesterday's morning's play here on the TV rink. We had some very, very strange occurrences and scorecards unfolding. Never know what you're going to get here at the UBC, and that's the beauty of it.
Yeah, remarkable that game up against Warilla. 54-0 after, well, halfway through the third end.
The match ended in a tie.
And Warilla probably should have won it.
Probably should have in the end, you're right. So leads are away, and it will be first points. Well, there didn't take long for the lead shot to correct itself there, Chris Green, after Blue finally got on the board after 10 ends this morning here on the TV rink. It's back to orange. Aussie cool Joeys with the first 3 points of this contest.
Yeah, there's something about those orange bowls.
Orange, the sun, the heat, the warmth, just more conducive perhaps.
I think so.
You could argue the blue and the beautiful blue skies here in Moama too are probably hand in hand, but we've got Benny Twist here with the, I wouldn't call them orange bowls, slightly more of a mustardy type feel to them. And again, it's the Joeys off to a really strong start in this. They would own, I would suggest, all 4 of the closest bowls at the moment. Only 3 of them will be point scoring at the end.
Just a touch shy there from Brennan Egan.
I think the The nice little breeze that we're just starting to feel come through here to our commentary position will be very well appreciated by the players in probably the first 2 days less so. This looks good. Ben Twist is going to get it to drop in. Not quite. But
Great
still,
shot.
Great shot, yeah. First 2 days, the wind gusts were probably more of a hindrance than a help, but today, with the temperature rising, a little bit of that relief from breeze coming through here at the Moama Bowling Club. The Greens is the venue. If you haven't been to this part of the world, it's well worth looking at if you're a lawn bowls aficionado. The carpeted undercover greens, of course, the traditional lawn greens. It is a awesome facility, and it's brilliantly run, well staffed, and everyone here, players, officials, volunteers alike, would, I'm pretty sure, attest to that, having been thoroughly entertained and looked after over the past 3 and a bit days.
Did you ever collect Pokemon cards, Benny?
No, but I've got 2 younger brothers, or they are younger brothers, they're not that young, but yeah, they're right into the Pokemon lore. Yeah, I missed that, mate. I was more of a Tarzo man myself. That's probably showing my age.
Yeah,
but
I was right on Tarzos
the mid-late 90s, going to the school tuck shop, the cafeteria, and literally just buying packets of chips so I could get the Tarzo and then throwing the chips away. Yeah, that was sort of more my go. I missed the Pokemon. I was a bit... I'd like to say I was a bit mature by that stage, but that's debatable.
And the reason for the random question is...
I was just wondering where this was going. Go for it.
So on Twisty's bowl, he's actually got an image of, I think it's Charizard.
Charizard, I've heard of that, yes. Yeah, okay, well, that makes more sense to me now, and then hence the colour scheme.
And I think there's another Pokemon on his blue set. I'm not sure. I'm not all over
The only other one I
Pokemons.
know is Pikachu.
Pikachu.
Pikachu would be the only other one.
Yeah.
That's Pokemon, isn't it? Not. I was thinking that or Ben 10 or something. I can't
No,
remember.
I think that's like the main
That's
dude.
the main dude.
Yeah.
We are showing our age here, Greenie. So, 21 zip. By the way, just while we focus back on the action in front of us, an ultimate end to the Aussie Cool Joey. So, brilliant start for them. As I said, they're in 6th at the moment. So, the equation for them really stays very, very simple. Just keep winning, and they'll be there in the preliminary finals.
This could be just a game plan. So Windsor have gone, well, 54-0 doesn't get you a win starting off. So let's
go
start off a little bit
the
slower.
other way, yeah. Still a lot to play, obviously, in this game, though. So
Let's see who has started off well across on the other rinks. Only very early. We might just give it another couple of minutes to see.
yeah, I was going to say,
we're
we're either very, very on time, or some others behind us are just running a little bit behind schedule. But
I think we're very encouraging. We're getting the players on and getting the games through.
encouraging would be one way of describing it.
Yeah.
Tapping the watch and waving their hands in the air is another way. The players are pretty good, as long as it's particularly this morning, there's no excuse for them not to really be here and ready because of the alternating sections.
Yep.
Sometimes we'll get an example of a team playing, particularly in the group games where there's blocks, where they'll have a game behind us on the main green. It might go a little bit later, and then they're next scheduled onto the TV rink, so we have a little bit of a holding pattern. But today there's no excuses. Section A, B, 3 games each, but taking one at a time.
Yeah, first points there for the Centurions. They'll open up their account as Twist and Egan make their way to the mat.
So Ben Twist. And let's see the spinning Charizard as it makes its way down the green. This looks pretty good. Looks great. That's a toucher. And yeah, we'll hold on for shots, I think. Pretty close, yeah. Just confirmed there by Jason Heath that the Centurions just down.
Oh, Benny Twist, he's breathing fire today. Benny, what logo would you have if you got a custom set? I know you've got your orange little ones, but if you got, and your colours, what colours? You can get any colour these days.
Yeah, well, if we're going to go back to childhood favourites, I would be getting I'd probably go with good question, actually. I'd probably stick. I don't know if I'd stick with my orange bowls, or maybe I'd have to go green because I'd probably get a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle to the side. I was always a bit of a Leonardo fan. I think he wore blue, so I'd probably have to go with the blue. The blue bowls, but yeah, that would be my go-to little logo on the side. I mean, obviously a magpie, but
It'll be half Liverpool, half Magpie.
yeah, the liver bird or the magpie. But yeah, no, I'll go with a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. There's another fun question for our viewers on Facebook. You know, I'm sure many of whom own their own set of bowls. If you've got a quirky character on the side, as we watch this from Egan,
He's done enough to take the shot out. It was a good setup. He's played it well. Brendan Egan, just so smooth. And his delivery is absolute textbook.
yeah, let us know with your bowls if you've got a quirky little logo on the side of them already, or if there's one you'd like to see on your bowls. Jump onto the Facebook comment section and share your thoughts. It's a reminder too that we will take our coverage right through these remaining group games this morning in both Section A and B. And then we'll take a short break. The preliminary finals from 2 o'clock, we won't be streaming those, but you will be able to keep up to date with all of the scores. The 4 matches will be played at the same time.
Benny, look at this for a shot. He's just come back from a weight. He's changed hands and he's drawn near on the shot. He already had the shot, so second was enough there. And just bites into that margin. Windsor now move along to 18 and the Aussie Cool Joey's 27.
Yeah, certainly game on here on our TV rink. Just to finish that point, yeah, 2 o'clock, the preliminary finals, all played at the same time. No streaming of those, but we'll be back from 4 o'clock, I'm reliably informed, this afternoon with our quarterfinals. 4 of those to be played, 2 semi-finals, then our final, and we will have our Event 2 champions confirmed. All sorts of technological advancements happening here at the UBC. What's going on next to you there, Greenie? I know our viewers can't see it, but
Phil's got this.
Our man Phil has got the he's got the double screen. He's got the laptop it's almost turned into a big screen television.
What I'm hoping this is for is a setup for the Ashes.
Oh yes, yeah, of course. Starting tomorrow, day-night test at the Gabba. Looking forward to that. Tell you what, it could be set up for the Ashes and American football and any other bloody sports going on at the moment. He's got it all covered here, our man Phil. So now Aaron Hewson for the Aussie Cool Joeys. Probably need to get around to a couple of those other scores too, Greenie. We looked earlier and they were just starting out some of those matches, but we'll do that shortly. Looking at Aaron Hewson all over it here, and there is a toucher. His first of this match. And the Aussie Cool Joeys out by 12.
Yeah, really good start here from the Joeys. Windsor's it's just searching a little bit. Doona played those couple of big bowls last end to start their scoring. However, the Joeys, they're just not laying off here. Toucher, they'll have the lead shot, the crossover. It's all just about a confident shot here. Any movement past the jack is good.
Just off the YouTube comment section as well there, Greenie, the Truganina Tornadoes has been suggested as...
Hey, that's a good idea.
Whirly tornado. I don't mind that at all.
Sometimes I do get home and the garbage bin that was outside of our places down near the playground.
Looks like a tornado's come through. Yeah, fair enough. Reggae Rollers 4456 says these guys are really playing some top bowls and playing them every end. I concur with you there, Reggae. That is why we are in the privileged position here to be watching it unfold in front of us for the best part of nearly 9 or 10 hours each and every day here in Moama. It's bowls at its best.
Those scores you were asking for, Benny. Port
Yep.
Sorrel Sharks. We'll just wait and see how this bowl of Brendan Egan's comes, and almost done it again. Port Sorrel Sharks 24, lead the Deer Park Club Gold 18. Warilla 34, lead Broadbeach 14. Moama Green 21, trail the Melbourne Falcons 27. Musgrave 35, lead Dandenong 13. And the Raptors, the NCE Raptors, big start for them.
Yeah.
30-3 over the Carlo Koalas.
Yeah, big battle of
Ben
the heavyweights.
Twist once again.
Broadbeach and Warilla. Yeah, toucher from Ben. It's his second of the match. And the third for the Aussie Cool Joeys between the duo.
Well, toucher for Brendan Egan. Potentially enough for shot too. I think it is.
Yeah, it's a big bowl there from Brendan. Margins crept out to 18, so there's still a few bowls to play out in this third end. It puts them in a much better position, still trailing, of course, but if they could get their way into shot bowl here. They currently hold second. That's a great response, though, from Ben Twist.
That's brilliant, that response, because what it does is it actually gets to those blue bowls, which Brendan would have been trying to trail a jack to, plus it guarantees the shot.
He's been bowling really well this morning, Ben. Yeah,
going to need a little bit of finesse here once again from Egan. Absolutely no surprise either, Benny, that the beanbags, which are on the opposite side of the rink, and the sunshine is out.
Who's in them and who's taking in some of that sunshine?
Oh, Barry Lester. There was absolutely no doubt about that when the beanbags, the sun touched the beanbags. Baz was a second behind that.
Tell you what, I'm not going to lie, Greenie. I'm a touch envious. I mean, we're sitting in a nice little spot here. We get the best seat in the house to watch this action unfold, but maybe it's not the best seat in the house. It's maybe occupied by Barry at the moment. He's loving that sunshine, and so he should. Hopefully he's done the right thing and slip, slop, slapped. Here's Ben Twist. Wonderful bowls once again. Great effort.
Yeah, 3 good shots there from Twisty. Probably just a touch unlucky there. Just sailed through, but his second bowl, well, his first one was a toucher. Second bowl played the perfect shot to get to the blue.
Yeah, it's a really impressive end by the Joeys, and they extend their lead now. 23 is the margin with 2 ends to play. Next on our TV rink, we will see Golden State up against the Southern Stars, and we'll obviously check in on those standings in Section B shortly, but I'm suggesting, Greenie, it might be one of the few games that we'll get here all week that may, I don't like the term dead rubber, but it may not have a lot bearing on it. State are just an outside chance of making it through to the top 6, would need a lot to go their way. They've got a poor points differential, and they're still 3 points off 6th spot, but Southern Stars, as we know, their campaign in Event 2 is now rather academic. They're just there to try and shape the top 6.
Yeah, handy start there from the Centurions, Jason Heath. We often see singles players are really good at this format, and Jason Heath, quarter-finalist in the Queensland singles.
Nice first couple of bowls here from Aaron Houston. In fact, both leads looking to dial in here and hassle the jack. I've only seen, I think, the one toucher between the two of them so far in this match, so I'm sure they'd both love to add to those tallies. Any scores jumping off the screen there, Greenie, to fill our listeners in on?
Well, we'll have a quick run through. Port Sorrel 40, lead Deer Park Club Gold 29. A victory there should pretty much secure a finals berth for them.
And that is a great result. We actually spoke extensively about Port Sorell yesterday. I know I spoke to Nugget about them also. Shannon McElroy, when he stopped by in the commentary, probably the youngest side in combined age that are here this week in Moama. So for them to get an opportunity in a knockout final would be wonderful. So it's got some work still to do, but they're looking good.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the Warilla, 55, Broadbeach, 26.
How are they tracking, Greenie? Because it seems crazy that they could miss. I mean, there's still plenty. Look at that. They're only 2 points clear of 7th spot, and there is a chasing pack there of 3 teams: Melbourne Falcons, Moama Green, and we know here with the Centurions, probably struggling to see them get up from here. I think Koalas are going quite nicely as well.
Well, that's the amazing part. So Broadbeach are coming 4th. They have plus 27 differential, 15 competition points. In 10th spot, Koalas, they have 12 competition points, so simply just 1 win. But their for and against is plus 56.
And I think they're tracking, from memory, they were going pretty well in their current match that's unfolding. Could have been wrong, but... Oh, no, they're not. Sorry, my apologies. I thought they were actually going a little better than that, but it looks like the Raptors have put the foot on the throat there a little bit, so maybe a little sigh of relief for Broadbeach, who are really battling against Warilla. 2 very good teams there.
Moama Green, 38, trail the Falcons 40 with a couple of bowls left in N4, and they are holding first, second and third, so stays that way, and Moama Green will take a nice little lead into the 5th and final end. Musgrave 43, Dandenong 32, so 11 points there, halfway through end number 4. And as we know, with rink number 6, it's been a touch behind all day.
Yeah.
The Raptors 43 are leading Koalas 17, so Raptors might be doing a little bit of a favour for some of those sides because Carlo, they have got a nice little points differential. It's just they're a couple of wins behind.
Another lead shot to the Aussie Cool Joeys in this 4th end. So they're 3 from 4 in this contest. Aaron Hewson getting it done. And the margin now is out to 23. There was a toucher in there, I think, as well from Jason Heath.
He peels one out.
So you can see Ben Twist making his way back to the mat, just assessing what he's going to play. He was going to call his timeout. It's an early call of a timeout. You just get the 1 per match. So 4th end, usually don't see them called upon until late in the 5th, but Ben's decided he just needed a little bit longer to formulate a game plan for this final bowl, or his final bowl of the 4th end. Brendan will still have 1 to come for the Windsor Centurions. So they hold shot the Aussie Cool Joeys. Would dearly love to work in here for second. And I don't reckon, Greenie, it's going to be too far off. It just needs to halt up a touch, and it can't. So now over to Brendan Egan. Needs to come up with a big shot here. If they could get into shot, maybe even first and second, could eat into this deficit enough to give them a real live chance going to the 5th. Here's the weight. Going to clear it out.
He's got the jack, and he gets it straight through.
Wow.
Brendan Egan, what a huge shot that is.
Ultimate end, toucher, 21 points, and look at that margin now. That is incredible. Yeah, well done, Brendan Egan. That's one of the shots of the week. The comment on YouTube about the calibre of bowls we're seeing here today, and that exemplified it right there. They've gone from trailing by 23 to now down by just 2, and it is anyone's game as we kick off the final end.
Phil's finished up with the elite setup too.
That is very, very impressive. So we've got both Section A and B standings right there on display in front of you, Greenie. No excuses now for us to miss the action as the teams shuffle around.
Yeah, and of course, if you want to jump on and have a look at the standings or any of the live scores, no matter where you're watching from around the world, just head to ultimatebowlschampionship.com.au/scoreboard. From there, you can see all the up-to-date scores, bowl by bowl, and you can have a look at the standings, the all-important sectional standings, which we'll be chopping and changing over the next hour and a half before we secure our top 6. The top 2 straight through to the quarterfinals, which will start 4 o'clock. And we have 3rd through to 6th in Section A and Section B playing in the prelims, which will be held here or concurrently from 2 o'clock at Moama. You'll be able to check the live scores. The stream, they will not be on the stream rink. They'll be on the main green. So if you're in and around the area, pop down because they are always exciting.
So every bowl now, just a greater level of importance. I'm sure the Joeys thought, what's happened there? There's the flies. I told you they're going to be an issue today. We've just found out there from Jason Heath how much of an issue they can be. He might have swallowed one or went up the nostril, but he can reset here and go again. I'm sure the Joeys a couple of moments ago thought that they had done enough to set this game up for a relatively comfortable win. Brendan Egan with the big shot to finish that 4th end has made things very interesting, and that's the lead shot bowl right there for Jason Heath. 1 to come from both of the leads still.
Yeah, next match for this live stream finals sort of sectional play will be Golden State and the Southern Stars, and that'll be their second last match for Section B.
Houston now with his final bowl. It's going to go out to the back and have the deepest bowl on the green at the changeover. Lead shot wins the Centurions, who now take the lead. 53 plays 52 with half an end to play. Literally seconds ago, the margin was 23. Favour of the Aussie Cool Joeys. Now they're the ones who trail.
Told you, it was all just a game plan here, Benny. See, those 54-0 leads don't work.
No, we saw that on 2 occasions yesterday here on our TV rink. That's a great start there from Brendan Egan. He has really stepped up to the plate in the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, he's really turned this match. Can't write this man off, though. Ben Twist.
No, with the weight.
Certainly in the area. What is the connection?
Oh.
There is none.
Found the smallest of gaps. Wasn't what he wanted. His Windsor holding the match as it stands. Still plenty to play out, but spoke about the Joeys and just how important it is for them to keep winning. He must have felt like they had this one almost locked away. But for the brilliance of Brendan Egan, what else has he got for us as he looks to put one as close to the tee as he can? I don't know, he's holding up, so it'll stay in play. Now more weight again. Ben Twist, he's right after that.
Contact. He's got enough contact to change things up. However, what it does, it provides a lot of room now.
Yeah, and look, with Windsor holding 1st and 3rd, projected scores, that would be more than enough for them to go on to win. Both bowlers, both skips with 1 to come. Expect to see Brendan Egan use his timeout here.
So the winner of this match will move into the top 6.
Yeah, it's really showcasing the fine margins between the two sides and this particular section, just how close it is. Warilla Gorillas, looks like they've gone to the top.
They're never far off the top, are they?
No.
Never far from the top.
See the Musgrave Pelicans, their match still in action, so they can leapfrog them, of course, should they record a win over Dandenong.
And just as you say that, they have.
Which they have, so there you go.
64-56 win over Dandenong. There must have been what we heard in the background. There was a lot of cheering.
Yeah.
There was a final bowl win.
So here it is for the Aussie Cool Joeys. They need to find a way to get to shot bowl here, but they also need to get to second shot as well, because first would not be enough.
Final bowl, Ben Twist. This to get him into the top 6 for now.
Has it got the weight? Looks good. Looks great.
Needs to stay with it.
Has got to stay. I reckon he has. Oh, yeah, he has. Brilliant Ben Twist. And after a scare late, pretty sure we'll get that confirmed in just a moment. Gets the toucher. So there you go.
Clutch bowl there from Twist.
Yeah. We saw two, didn't we? Brendan Egan in the fourth end. Ben Twist, the final bowl of the match. And it is the Aussie Cool Joeys with a scare, but they get through 65-61. And that will certainly do their chances of finishing in the top 6 no harm at all. We looked a moment ago and they were outside the 6. They are about to jump up. In fact, they could jump up as high as 4th. There it is, confirmed. Up to 4th, the Aussie Cool Joeys.
Starting to look a little bit clearer. Although there's a lot of murkiness right there, because you see 17, 16, 15, 15. And they're the points held by 4th through to 7.
Yeah, the Raptors will go to 18 shortly, Greenie. I mean, they're pretty comfortable against the Carlo Koalas, so that's the only other change I can foresee, which would see the Joeys drop down to 5th, the Falcons drop to 6th, and the Broad Beach Bulls, well, there you go. There's a story in itself. They would be outside the top 6. And, of course, for both of these, for the Section A teams, they've only got the one game to come. We are certainly getting to crunch time.
So Golden State v Southern Stars. The Southern Stars, they'll be looking towards event 3. We're still looking to knock off a couple of teams and alter the standings. Golden State, it's simple, must win.
Yeah, they need to make every post a winner here, the team from Golden State, and probably at that point of the competition where they also have to start to rely on some other results. That's when it does become decidedly tricky. It's Greenie just marshalling the troops and getting us hopefully underway shortly with this match between Golden State and the Southern Stars. Round 10, Section B, the penultimate round of matches for this section.
Yeah, we're ahead of schedule here, Benny, so sometimes it does throw the players off.
Nothing wrong with being ahead of time. I'd like to keep it that way. It'd be very nice.
Speaking of shirts, surely the Golden State, it's got to be right up there. Yeah, it's got a bit of everything.
Yeah. House music all life long is how it reads on the back. See Dan Lamez, the main man from Golden State, for those who don't know, other than being a very good lawn bowler. He likes to spin some platters. Is that the terminology they use? Spin a platter or two as a DJ.
That's making me hungry.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, we are approaching lunchtime. Spin the decks. I've just been told. I feel there you go.
The platters.
There is a radio slogan that involves a platter. Look, I'll have to Google it, but yes, let's go with decks. That sounds a lot more DJ like. But yeah, he's got obviously some support from a local business, and obviously just a huge asset for the UBC is Dan Lamez, our Event 1 Golden Touch winner, by the way, too. Speaking of which, I might, like we did in Event 1, I might give you a little heads up as to how the Golden Touch standings looked overnight.
Please do. While you're searching for that, I'll just go through the team lineups. For Golden State, Daniel Christie, leading up. For Dan, the man Lamez, the third player of that side, Ian Law. And for the Southern Stars, we have Liam Hill leading for David Motu. And Takarui is the third player of that side.
Yeah, so I think from memory, Dan had 26 touches in Event 1, and that was enough to win that award. One clear of Cohen Litfin from the Flemken Colts. What I can tell you is that overnight we had a runaway leader.
Okay.
Who had played 8 matches and had recorded 24 touches.
Wow.
So I would suggest that Dan's 26 from Event 1 is going to be surpassed. Now, how many games that particular player on top plays today, we're uncertain. I can't confirm. But with 24 touches, 4 clear of joint runners-up who were both occupying 20 touches apiece, which is nothing to be sneezed at, by the way. And Mark Casey watch?
It's got to be better than Event 1.
It is, I can confirm. Again, Case won't be winning the Golden Touch, so I'm pretty sure he's okay with us telling everyone how many he has. To be fair, too, to Mark Casey, only played the 3 matches.
Yeah, he didn't play many yesterday. He's
got to play 3 today to get to his minimum qualifying level, but he had 8 touches in his 3 matches, which I think is...
yeah, that's good going.
It's pretty sharp, so... There
That's
you go.
8 more than we would get.
I know. Take the mick when we can when it comes to Case, but that's worth a nod. So well done to him. But yeah, as I said, the leader overnight with 24 touches. That's the mark. That's the watermark for our Golden Touch Award. So first points in this contest went the way of Golden State from the lead shot at the change. No touches in this match yet. It's been rare to see the Blue Bowls taking the lead shot. Being dominated by Orange this morning.
So Dan the man done enough. Has he just sliding through?
So now David Motu with his second bowl of this opening end. This is going to be a touch shy on weight, and the line wasn't too bad, but just underplaying it a touch.
Yeah, New Zealand under-26 representative, David Motu. And the Stars lead Liam Hill. He's actually the 2025 Auckland Male Bowler of the Year.
Yeah, there's no shortage of Kiwi talent here on show this week. Some of the very best bowlers in the world hailing from the land of the long white cloud, and seeing a few of them on display right here. So the Southern Stars in now for first and second. That's a lovely, lovely bowl there from David Motu. First and second. Now one last chance in this opening end for Dan the Man to see if he can change up that scoring. I don't mind the look of it from here. Is it going to have the legs?
No, it's going to run out.
Geez, the line was looking superb. Just didn't have the petrol tickets. And it's a good start, solid start. Southern Stars lead 15-6 after one completed end.
Yeah, steady start to proceedings. It's interesting too, we do see that, but it amps up really quickly. Doesn't take them long to just turn it up a notch and really zone in on the jack. It's nice under the dome today.
Yeah, it would be a different story if we were out on the grass screens at the moment. It's bathed in sunshine. A little gentle breeze, which has been, like I said earlier today, nice and appreciated by the players. But you can feel that warmth starting to really work through. It's only going to get more interesting as far as dealing with it over the next couple of days. But yeah, expect a top of around 30 degrees here in Moama today. There'll be plenty of hydration required, plenty of water getting about. And then, of course, from 4 o'clock back for our finals coverage, live streaming, quarter-final action, Event 2. The makeup of those finals even before we get to the quarters, the preliminaries are still very much anyone's guess. So much movement already on the standings for both Section A and B this morning.
Yeah, good areas there. Daniel Christie, the Golden State. Liam Hill, he just needs just a slight correction on his line. He's pretty close. Can he get a piece of it?
It's a fair correction.
He does. He gets a piece of the jack.
Yeah, first touch up. Holding shot bowler. I reckon Daniel's not far off the mark either.
Gets to his own. Yeah, really good grouping there.
So cancels out the toucher for Liam Hill. 3 apiece to kickstart that second end for both the Golden State and Southern Stars. Around the grounds, Greenie, what are we looking at?
Yeah, Kawana 27, the wildcard team 3. Bundura 10. And the Aussie Cool Ruse 26. So that's almost a little mini final because with the team sitting 5th and 6th, there is some chasing power in Kawana in 7th there. Then you've got the Wolves 15, Flemken Colts 27. So if the Wolves are to lose this match, that's a line through them. Adelaide Heat 27. It's a big lead over Moama Black 3. And the other game, Exodus up against Deer Park Club Blue. That is just started on rink 6.
Yes, as we touched on, it just looks as though rink 6 is just running a little bit behind the others. But yeah, some interesting results unfolding. And I said the Adelaide Heat knew that they had to do everything right this morning and win all 3 games. They've set up their start against Moama Black very nicely. Flemken Colts, well, again, they're no certainty.
It's close. Straight through the
Just
hole.
missed. The Western Wolves, yeah, to be a fair fall from grace to see them miss after winning event 1, but that can often happen, I guess, coming off such a high and having to reset and go through the routines and the motions once again to try and replicate. It's very, very rare we've seen it done here at the UBC with back-to-back event winners. And Moama Black and Deer Park Club Blue, obviously early stage for Deer Park in their match against Exodus, but Moama Black are slow starters against the Adelaide Heat.
David Motsu just on a higher line this time. Just slightly missed with his second bowl. They do hold shot though, the Southern Stars. Golden State, just a slight little touch here. That's all that's needed. Perfect from Daniel Christie leading up. Dan the Man not far off with his first 2. This will be his final bowl of end number 2. What change can he make?
Usually tell pretty early on in the pace with Dan whether he's happy with the bowl. He's asking it to turn. Jeez, it's making a good track.
Look at this for a shot.
Brilliant.
Dan the Man, the Golden Touch winner from event 1. Another toucher, another result.
Yeah, brilliant. So I think we'll see clearly shot bowl with Golden State. The toucher recorded as well. 27-21 they lead. And they've turned a 9-point deficit now into a 6-point lead of their own. And gee, we've seen some clutch bowls, final bowls of ends with our skips getting to the mat and delivering a number of matches this morning. That's been the case. So here's Liam Hill for the Southern Stars. Got legs. I don't mind the look of this one either. It might just slide underneath. It's holding. And it does. The weight was nigh on perfect.
Yeah, great opener. Danion's eyes should be lighting up. The bowl that's jack high can be worked with perfectly.
I think he might have too here, Greeny. They've called that well, unless he finds a gap. Oh,
Wow.
my Lord. You could see the reaction from Dan, the man. He cannot believe that hasn't taken a touch of either Jack or the Southern Stars bowl.
Remarkable. Any touch of the bowl, it gets to the jack as well. So
You look at that gap, Greeny, honestly, I mean, if I asked you to go and stand on the mat and have 100 goes at finding that, you'd probably hit the jack or the orange bowl 90 times out of 100. The others would go either left or right. Finding the middle, it might be a 1 in 100, but that's exactly what happened there to Daniel Christie.
and Liam Hill, he's doubled up here. So
Here
Christie,
it comes. Here it comes. Is it going to go enough? Not quite. Jeez, it's a couple of fantastic efforts, though. Applauded by Dan Lamez, who, while disappointed, knows that Daniel couldn't really have done much more than that. It's the fine margins in this sport. The difference between a great bowl and just a solid bowl. And Liam Hill, well, his grouping for this
Brilliant.
lead end has been amazing. So he'll get an additional 3 for the Southern Stars, and we're back to a 3-point ball game. First lead shot points in this match for Liam Hill and the Southern Stars.
Yeah, let's have a quick little look as well. Kawana 38, Wildcard 16, Bundura 19, Aussie Cool Ruse 41, the Wolves 36, Colts 30, Adelaide Heat 38.
Weight from Dan, brilliant. Look at that. He's
Once
turned,
again.
yeah, he's overturned an ultimate end to now have first and second shot and a toucher. So Dan Lamez is here to play. As I said, Golden State, they're an outside chance, just have to win. That's a big play just after the halfway point of this match.
Yeah, so Adelaide Heat 38, lead Moama Black 16. Exodus after one end, lead Deer Park Club Blue 18-6, so that's a battle of second and third.
Yeah, the Wolves and the Colts meeting again after their match-up in the Event 1 final. It was the Wolves who had the bragging rights on that occasion. Looks like a tight battle developing there between those two very, very strong sides. So David Motu on the mat. What can he come up with here?
Bit of style about him too with the backwards cap.
Yeah, not everyone can pull it off. I've tried. It's not. It's probably not my go. He does.
Not just style, but look at this.
Yeah.
Can he hold on? Just falls out, so potentially doesn't get the shot, but does get 3 for the toucher, and at worst, at second shot.
Yeah, great bowling from David Motu, his first toucher of this match. Now just puts that challenge back out onto Dan Lamez. He's come up big with a couple of bowls in this match already. He's got a runway there to work with. It's just going to turn too much. See the frustration as he realised about 5 metres out from the jack that it wasn't the line he was requiring. And now it will be David Motu with the final say of this third end, and we're going to, assuming nothing much changes here with the scoring, we could have a one point margin in it. But he'll have his eyes on maybe working in for a second shot here.
Yeah, he's played a goodie down there with his second bowl, so it doesn't need to change that much.
Is it going to turn quick enough? Will it get past that front blue bowl? I don't think it will.
So first away for the Southern Stars, 10 points as their reward. And Golden State, well, they're going to get the tape out.
Okay. Looked, you did say that the bowl of Liam Hill's did just fall out at the end, and that could have proved crucial. Jeez, I've gone early with the score. I think it's been confirmed.
Nah, never in doubt, Benny.
Yeah, it has been confirmed. So, yeah, 38-37. Another really entertaining and tight match here on our TV rink. Golden State, again, just to confirm, they just have to win. It's as simple as that. And Southern Stars just looking to, well, upset the apple cart, really, of a few teams.
Yeah, and we'll keep giving you those regular updates too, because we know how important it is, these final 3 matches of the day leading into the quarterfinals, or first the prelims. Kawana 59 lead the wildcard side 22. Kawana currently in 7th, so need at least this win, more than likely the next one as well. Bundoora 40 trail the Aussie Cool Ruse 41. As we know, that's 5th v 6th. Western Wolves 36 are now on top of the Colts. So that's an interesting one there, Benny. It is only 3 points. There's still a couple of bowls left in N4, but at this stage, 36-33, the Wolves. Adelaide Heat hold that lead over Moama Black, 38-19. And the Deer Park Club Blue Exodus match is getting nice and tight now for both sides. It is 23-19 the way of Exodus.
Yeah. Yep, some tight matches unfolding there. In fact, other than the Kawana wildcard matchup, they are all very, very close. Adelaide Heat, 19 to the good over Moama Black, but we know how good a side they are, so I wouldn't expect that scoreline to stay like that for too long. Every other match, separated by 1, 2 or 3 shots. It's getting to that point of the event where everything changes in the blink of an eye.
They're just missing their weight here. Hear the train in the background, Benny?
I did hear that, the one that runs directly past the Bowls Club.
Yeah, it runs in between the bowls greens and the bowls club room and the main club. It's quite remarkable. I've always been amazed ever since, I think first time I came here probably 25 years ago, and it blew me away as a little kid, and it still blows me away these days.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a different setup, but it's as unique and pretty special.
You were spot on, though. It'd be interesting if there was a train stop here. Well, obviously, it's not a passenger train, but if it was and there was a stop here, it'd be one of the busiest stops.
I've got no doubt, absolutely. 41-37. As we commence this second half of the fourth end. Plenty to play for, plenty of space around this jack too. Nice start from David Motu. Maybe just gone past shot bowl. Got our man Allen out there on the tablet. He's assessing it all. Still Golden State holding shot. Dan's just left this one out to that left-hand side. Weight was good. In for third.
Yeah, look, for the Southern Stars here, they're probably just in relax mode. They're focusing now on event 3. But for Golden State, there's still that slight little sniff. And these are the opportunities. There's plenty of room. Really needs to capitalise on this, because not only do they need wins, they need margin.
Yeah, that's right. And that's when it gets tougher for this chasing pack of teams. It's not essentially just about winning. You have to win and win well. And this game has been so tight. That's brilliant from Dan. They're almost in for a touch. Yeah, he's frustrated that it just didn't want to fall over on this occasion. But in the end, it's a wonderful bowl, and they hold an ultimate end.
David Motu down on his backhand. What's he got? Getting down. Look at this, Benny. Toucher. And the shot. Big one. Yeah, that was huge there. And the Southern Stars needed that. Golden State were leading by 4 and holding an ultimate end. Margin back now to 1.
Yeah.
And the Southern Stars hold the shot. So effectively, they'll be in front if it stays this way.
Yeah, that's just a big play from David Motu. As I said, it's an interesting dynamic in that we know the Southern Stars really not playing for anything beyond just these next 2 round matches. But they know that they could put a dagger through the heart of Golden State and end their campaign as well. Can Dan come up big here again, work off the inside of his own bowl? It's going to go very close. I tell you what, he could not have done any better than that. And I think you're right there, Greenie. I think that'll make it official. It will be, again, as it was at the start of that fourth end, a 1-point match. Golden State leading, trailing now, I should say, 49-50.
Well, it's absolutely anybody's game here, and we say it time and time again. These 3 lead bowls from each of the players are absolutely vital. Any points, any touches, and they must secure the lead crossover.
So opening bowl from Danyon will probably go and rest pretty similar to where Liam Hill put his first. Right there at the back towards the tee. See if the players will correct here in their second bowl, and I think we can already see the proof in that. Still just drifting a touch past the jack, but underneath for Liam Hill. Now Danyon's second. Urged on by Dan Lamez, who wants to keep going. Now to start turning. It's brilliant weight, and it just going to drop in for the touch. Brilliantly done. Kept everyone on the edge of their seat there for a moment as to whether it was going to fall. It did, and just took the slightest of touches. So very important 3 points there to the Golden State. They regain the lead.
Yeah, vital. Any points from these leads just gives that little bit of freedom. But generally, if you're going to get a toucher, it's unless you're running through, it's going to be staying close as that is that bowl, and it could turn into a 6-point bowl, which it will, unless there's something drastically wrong here and he disturbs his own.
Yeah, there's no real danger if he is to get a touch on this jack here. He's going to go very close again, maybe just the weight underneath, but they will get the additional 3 for the lead shot, and that means they will lead by 5 with half an end to play.
Yeah, important bowls there from Danyon. Well, pretty much that second bowl. That was the important one because it's turned a 1-point deficit into a 5-point lead with 3 bowls remaining from each side. And straight up after this, Koalas and the Deer Park Club Gold will battle it out in their final sectional game.
Just the weight from Motu here.
He's got, well, I thought he was almost going to do enough to dislodge that bowl.
It would have been incredible to clear 2 out, particularly that shot bowl.
He has opened it up though. So even though our next match won't change any of the standings, with Deer Park Club Gold 12th currently and Carlo 10th, there's no doubt that both of those sides would be looking to get off the bottom. Carlo don't want to end up on the bottom, and Deer Park Club Gold want to get off the bottom.
Yeah, just with that 1 match remaining in each section. Melbourne Falcons sitting in 6th. They're 4 points clear of Carlo. So, as Greenie has alluded to, they can't make up that difference. As high as they could finish would be 7th. But you start how you finish as a rule, and I'm sure that's how they'll see it heading into event 3. They'll want to wrap up this event with a victory. So it's Golden State holding the match. 2 bowls of theirs to come from Dan Lamez. Just the 1 now left for David Motu.
Golden State might hold on here, just keep their slim hopes alive.
It's going to slide underneath that front bowl of the Southern Stars there. So they're in for second shot.
Couple of scores as well, Benny. Moama Black have turned things around dramatically against the Adelaide Heat.
Oh, wow, they have too.
58-44 now, Moama Black lead.
So
Deer Park Club Blue 35 lead, Exodus 31. The Wolves 44 have been beaten by the Colts 67.
So that the Wolves, that put them out of contention?
It will, yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Bundoora have defeated the Aussie Cool Ruse 76-44, and Kawana 90 defeated wildcard side 36. So Kawana are back inside the top 6.
Adelaide Heat, you would think that's their campaign done as well.
Yeah, well, they'll be on 12 after this, unless they can turn things around. Big weight there, they're missing. And currently Kawana, who have played 10, so they've got one match to go, they're in 6th with 17 points.
So no risk of Golden State losing this contest now, but they can still work in for an ultimate end if Dan Lamez can clear out that second orange bowl. It's what he's tried to do. Can you get it a little bit closer? Not quite. So it'll end first and third Golden State. 70-53 the final score. In fact, first and second has just gone up onto the board. So 70-53, and as Greeny just mentioned there before, what it does is just keep them with a heartbeat in this Section B, one match of group games to come.
Yes, so next up, Carlo Koalas and Deer Park Club Gold.
You can see a couple of the players from Deer Park Club Gold just watching a bit of the action, so I might give them a touch of a hurry up in a second as well. I can see Ray Pearce and it looks like, just trying to see with him there, Todd Trewarn. Suggest they might be the duo teaming up for Deer Park, and I think they've just got the
Yeah, I just
the
sent
tap.
a little...
oh, you sent them a message. Very good, very good.
little slight message.
And their opponents will be the Carlo Koalas. Just waiting for them to arrive here at our TV rink. I think I can see the boys making their way.
That's a very good sign because we are ahead of schedule, which is always good because it gives the teams a little bit of a break before the prelim matches and then also the quarterfinals, which will follow from 4 o'clock. Even though the prelims are all played at the same times, the quarterfinals are played one after another and then followed directly by the semi-finals and the final. So it looks like it'll be for the Deer Park Club Gold, Todd Trewarn, who's claimed multiple Victorian and ACT titles, and Ray Pearce, the World Mixed Pairs champion. Third player of that lineup who will be cheering the boys on, J-By Norris. And for the Carlo Koalas, yet to see what their lineup's going to look like.
Just a couple of comments on our Facebook stream too. Greeny, Marvin the Martian flipping the bird. Raymond Bax has that logo on his bowls. Andrew from Bowls, Jamaica actually has the national bird of Jamaica crafted onto their bowls. We've got one here from Raymond saying, enjoying the bowls, boys. That's from Jan and Radar. Lee Roy Bear says, how does this point system work? Well, once we get this game underway, we'll just recap the point system. Merv Howell watching from Bega, New South Wales. And we also had someone here suggesting we should do a Bowls Ashes. The Aussies v the Pom. Well, in absence of that, we'll just focus in on the cricketing Ashes, which has started pretty well for the Aussies. And obviously we'll get back underway tomorrow at the Gabba, tomorrow afternoon for the day-night test. We are underway here on our TV rink. The Koalas up against Deer Park Club Gold.
Yeah, Lee Trethowan, former New South Wales rep, leading up for Darren Morrison, who has previously won a New South Wales champ pairs. Third player of the side, Nathan Malloy. And Toddy Trewarn is leading up Ray Pearce skipping.
As we touched on, no chance for these two sides, unfortunately, to progress through to the top 6, but we'll want to finish on a winning note. Just that scoring system again, Greeny. I mean, you could almost peel this off in your sleep these days, but for the benefit of our listeners who might just be joining us or viewers that are taking in UBC for the first time.
Yeah, absolutely. There's points on offer with every single bowl. So each toucher is awarded 3 points at the lead crossover. So following the 3 bowls each from both leads, the team holding shot is awarded 3 points. We do points in the UBC, not shots. And then at the conclusion of an end, the first shot is worth 10 points, second shot 5 points, third shot 3 points. You get first, second and third, it's 18 points, and it's the ultimate end.
It's a pretty comprehensive wrap-up of how this all works and the reason why, if you've tuned in, and you might see scores coming through in the 70s and the 80s and even beyond that in some occasions, wondering, well, how is that possible with this game of lawn bowls that I love to be scoring so highly? Well, Chris Green has just explained it for you brilliantly there. ultimatebowls.com.au, by the way, the website, with all of the details on how that unfolds, how these events are played out, the prize money that's on offer, the live scores as they're happening by the second. You can head along there, ultimatebowlschampionship.com.au/scoreboard if you actually want to keep up to date with those scores. Perhaps a team that you're invested in as a fan and can't see on our TV rink at the moment. Probably playing right behind us, 5 other matches all happening simultaneously to our main green.
So Toddy Trawarn there would have loved just another foot or two with all 3 of those bowls, finding the line, but just falling just shy there. Lee Trethowan, perfect weight with his jack high bowl. And his other 2, nice and handy round near the tee. As we know, any jacks that's killed goes back on the tee. For those tuning in as well, with the jacks are always placed. So there's a mark, and those are always placed in the same spot. And then you'll see where the jack is. There's a line in front, and there's a line behind. There's 3 metres between, and the mat can be placed anywhere in that 3 metres. And as you can see on screen, right down the bottom there in the middle, there is a tee, and that is the respot. That's 2 metres from the ditch.
So we've got Carlo owning the back of the green at the moment. All 4 orange bowls from Deer Park Club are short. It's not something you would see all that often. Once again, we'll see another of the Carlo bowls behind the jack. So I think Ray Pearce, as we've said a few times, the ever stylish Ray Pearce has recognised that, and I don't think he'll be leaving this one short just quietly. It's going to try and bust through his pack of orange bowls. Doesn't really change the standings with Carlo owning shot. Tell you what, Greeny, I know we're not really doing a lot from a physical point of view, but I'm rifling through the water this morning. It's a muggy kind of I won't say uncomfortable heat, but it certainly, you can feel it warming up, and the roof here almost working.
Wow, Darren Morrison. He'll need a drink after that.
Yeah, that was brilliant, wasn't it?
Perfect connection. He just played that really good weight, and he had the blue bowls at the back there. All the pressure now on Ray Pearce.
No, as I was going to say, the roof that we're obviously very appreciative of because it's keeping the sun off us, but it traps the heat in, almost becomes like a little bit of a sauna at times. Ray Pearce, not a bad effort using his own bowl there, but in the end, that end is all Carlo Koalas because it's an ultimate end.
Yeah, great shot there. Just early days. Darren Morrison, huge conversion.
It's I've got to say, it's really surprising. I don't really know if there's something behind it, but Ray Pearce, J.B. Norris, Todd Trawarn, bottom of Section A. If you'd presented that team to me on paper ahead of this event, you know, I'm thinking not just top 6, but you know, I'd be thinking probably towards the pointy end of the table. But it just shows that names on paper don't necessarily mean everything in this competition.
Yeah, if you get a couple of results that just don't go your way early on, and then you're chasing, it can get hard. Only 5 end matches, so you do need a little bit to go your way. The beauty for them and any other sides who miss out on finals for this event is there is one more event. Of course, that starts tomorrow and finishes on Friday. We'll have new sections, so the teams will be scrambled up again.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have the stats to back this up, Greenie, so I'm sort of going more off a gut feel, but I kind of have this recollection that in previous events you find the third event can throw up the most surprising results because you've got the teams that have probably had poor event 1 and 2 really zone in and focus in on. Teams that have probably enjoyed, as we watch here from Todd, that's going to just miss on the way past, that have probably had some better results and a bit of success, maybe just take the foot off the gas a little bit for that third event, find it a little bit harder to maybe motivate themselves to get up for another campaign. Because you want to be taking something away from the week. A little bit of prize money, see a little bit of success, a bit of silverware and a medal if you can. So, yeah, the third event always proves to be a pretty interesting one.
Yeah, there's that certain level of rhythm too that the players have got by then. Any strategies, if they've been working on them, it's the time to pull them out and just go for it, really.
So Deer Park will be on the board here. They will pick up the lead shot. First 3 points of the match for them. Trailing 24-0 after the opening end. Now the Skips will head to the mat to do their finest work.
Yeah, still just the one toucher, and that was the bowl from Darren Morrison, the big conversion on the first end.
See what he can do with his first bowl of this second end. It looks really nice. Turning enough to take the... Oh, wow.
Just slides by. How many times have we seen that this morning?
There's been a few of them this morning. You're right, Greenie. Bowl that Darren just delivered. It looks like it should fall the way it's sitting. It's just holding itself up there at the moment. This is now Ray Pearce looking to take a touch off the inside of that Carlo Koalas bowl. Just gets too much of it. Darren's last couple of bowls have been superb, so expect this one to go pretty close as well. It's making good track. Again, just to the outside.
Yeah, just a touch quicker that time. He's sailing through, but not in a bad area, as we saw with the first end. Any of those bowls past the jack creates opportunities at the back end of an end. He's done well there, incredibly well. So much so that he's got a toucher and potentially first, second and third.
Yeah, unfortunately, we couldn't see the end result of that with Todd just positioning himself there in front of the camera. Here's the weight from Darren in response.
Gets the jack.
Wow.
Another huge conversion with his final bowl of the end.
So, toucher has the shot bowl and he's no mucking around from Ray Pearce. He just knows he's got to get this as close to the edge as possible to at least get in there for second. And is it going to hold up? No, it doesn't. So, an ultimate end. Another one for the Carlo Koalas. Darren Morrison. What sort of a match is he having at the moment? Both of his final bowls.
And we touched on the fact that those blue bowls were past the jack, and it just gives that opportunity to be able to do so. You can then attack at the end. So
yeah.
For Deer Park Club Gold to turn this around, need to start sort of hunting that jack a little bit more.
That's been the issue for them in these two ends, hasn't it? So many bowls of theirs landing short. Whether that's that readjustment to this slightly quicker green, maybe they're just taking too much off it, maybe not adjusting to the mat positioning. Point that Shannon made really well in the commentary yesterday. Said it's another element you've got to focus in on, because if the opposition is placing the mat, if you're not concentrating, you kind of just step up there and because it's been that set and forget for so many years in the UBC. If they've set it back and you don't adjust your weight, that's when you'll find you're coming up short. And there's
Toddy
Trewarn with his second toucher of the match. Another 3 very much needed points for Deer Park Club Gold. Now the response from Lee.
So just finishing in good areas there.
Yeah.
And knowing that Darren has a really good runner and conversion game.
Well, that's the difference, isn't it? Greeny over Carlo, I can't remember them leaving a bowl short at this point. This looks good again from Todd. He's done it again.
And another toucher. There we go. There's some points there for the Deer Park Club Gold faithful.
You know what this means too, Greeny?
He's going for it.
Gold glove. We haven't had one here on the TV rink yet. If people are listening and going, what are you on about, Benny Jones? Well, I've tried to create a new award here at the UBC for probably the last 3 years. It's a work in progress. I keep saying that every year as well. But the Golden Glove for any player that can record 3 consecutive touches, whether they're a lead or a skip, it's probably more likely that it's going to be a lead. But at the moment, Todd can step up, but I don't think he's going to be going for it, unfortunately, for the viewers at home, because Ray Pearce, you can see, has planted his foot at the tee, and that's where they want that bowl to come to. Giving it a little bit of a cook.
Yeah, much better setup here for Deer Park. Even though those orange bowls are short of the jack, they've already scored points. So there was 3 for both of those touches, and there was also another 3 for the lead shot at the crossover. So there's already been 9 points scored.
Yeah.
Already this end for the Deer Park Club goal, which would much needed points.
Yeah, margin back to 30. So again, it's a mountain to climb, but it's manageable. Had it gone the other way, game could just about effectively be over already. Now Darren Morrison, who's just been bowling the lights out the last couple of ends, nearly gets that orange displaced, but again, pretty solid roll there from Darren Morrison of the Carlo Koalas.
Yeah, you wouldn't expect him to be too far off with the next. All good areas here for Ray Pearce and the Deer Park Club Gold.
See our man Mark Casey and Barry Lester enjoying the sunshine out of the beanbag, but just having a little bit of a chat about life and bowls and everything in between. What do you think the topic of conversation would be over there, Greeny?
Hey, Baz, do you feel like bleaching my hair again? Nah, mate. Give it a break, mate.
We learned our lesson from the first time.
Yeah, come on, mate. You got to grow up a little bit.
So Ray wasn't happy with that last bowl. It's first and third with Deer Park Club Gold, but form Darren Morrison's in.
He's under the line here, though.
Yeah, he has just fallen under and was trying to promote that front orange bowl into, well, probably into the shot bowl at the moment, try and move the jack closer to those blues at the back. He's obviously not going to get another opportunity to change the scoring. It'll stay first and third with Deer Park, so they'll pick up an additional 13 points. 5 going the way of the Carlo Koalas, and with 2 ends to play, 50 plays 28 here at Moama.
Yeah, so they got themselves back into it, like that end.
Yep.
Toddy's leading, and then Razor, he was just looking for a bit of safety there, and he's done well. Probably be a little bit disappointed with his last bowl there. He had a little bit of room to get in for some more points, but they'll be happy with that. Started just a building there. They've scored 22 on that end.
Yeah, 22-5 they won that end, so you're right, Greeny, and again, we talk about it. I mean, I know I talk about it. It's probably like a broken record, but you go down a big deficit early. We've seen it a few times here on this TV rink. The key is not to think or stress that you can't get back into the contest within an end. You just need to chip away at that margin. If you can get it to around that 10 to 15 with an end to play, while it's still tricky, with the amount of points that are on offer, you are still in the contest. Just don't drop the head after a slow start. Things can get away from you very quickly. This looks really good again from Todd. He's got the touch on the way through. He is dialed in now, Toddy Trewarn. That's his 4th toucher, I think, Greeny, for this match. And another 3 to the Deer Park Club Gold, and they now have reduced the margin back to 19.
Yeah, getting ever so close now. Definitely within striking range.
Yeah, no doubt at all. It was 39. 5 minutes ago they trailed by. So they've peeled 20 off that. And now that Todd, who is all over it at the moment, he'll have eyes on another 3.
Yeah, Todd's got a bit of a trot about him at the moment. He's following this down. Can he hold for a piece of the jack? If not, he's just finishing in much better areas. Yeah, that's all it was, just that slight change of his weight.
Yeah, not one bowl short so far in this end from both of the leads, but in particular Deer Park is probably the reason why they found themselves down significantly early. See what Lee can do in response. He's going to pop his into that big gathering of bowls. And it's another 3 to the Deer Park Club Gold team, and the margin now, Greenie, back to 16.
Yes, and as the skippers walk to the mat, let's have a quick look at the scores. Dandenong 51 lead Moama Green 27. Melbourne Falcons 62 lead the Raptors 31. That's a huge one because the Raptors in 4th and Falcons in 6th. Musgrave 32, Warilla 39, top of the table clash there. Probably the winner will actually be secured a spot in the top 2.
Yep.
Aussie Cool Joey's 54, Port Sorrel 30.
Yeah, the Joeys are setting themselves up nicely, aren't
Yeah,
they? They
well,
know
that's
a
a
win in their home, yeah.
Yeah, third v 5th there. And Broadbeach 40 in front of Windsor Centurions 11. So that's almost a knockout match, that. I mean, Broadbeach will still have us, well, this is the final round, so Broadbeach must win.
Yep. Yeah, as I said, I think almost off the top of the coverage this morning, it'd be almost unfathomable to think that Broadbeach with their lineup would not be participating in some shape or form come the knockout finals, but it's certainly the way that it could have been trending depending on results here in this last round of matches. They're relying on some other results almost now, Broadbeach, so...
And remarkably, as it sits, Deer Park Club Gold are in front.
Yeah, they are. You're absolutely right. As the projected score would indicate, they'd be leading by 2. They were down by 39 at the conclusion of 2 completed ends.
Well, he's played a number of big conversions. And again, once he has got the shot out of it, this time it wasn't the big weight making ruffles through the head, but it was just that dead draw shot landing on the second shot of Deer Park Club Gold. It's enough for the Koalas.
Now Ray Pearce with his final bowl of this 4th end.
Toddy's getting a good work in there for Quest Carolyn Springs. Great partners of the Deer Park Club.
Good effort. So now this is the situation where, as we've touched on a few times, Carlo can play pretty safe here. So Darren goes to the mat knowing they've got shot. Even though they're conceding 2nd and 3rd at the moment, that would still mean a 2-point gain to their lead. Currently sits at 16, 18. Yeah, it becomes really tough for Deer Park. Start looking at ultimate ends to finish there. Need to get lots of touches, get the lead shot. So let's see what Darren does as he try and squeeze in here for 2nd. The way he's bowling, I suppose, why wouldn't you give it a nudge? And he's not going to be far off the mark, just a touch short on the weight. Great effort nonetheless. Does he get in for 3? I don't
think so.
No, he doesn't. So they're just double checking that shot bowl, but
It is a big measure.
Yeah, we are going to go to the measure, and so they should. We are ahead of schedule, so there's no real rush, but you've got to get these right.
Yeah, we'll have a quick look at... Obviously, we've got the scores there on our screen, but we've also got the standings. And Benny, Musgrave, Warilla, well, the winner of that match is guaranteed top position. Port Sorrel currently are behind, but the Raptors are behind as well. So neither of those two, because they might even stay, Musgrave and Warilla, stay top 2.
Yep.
But the big thing here is if the Falcons continue to do what they're doing over the Raptors, which is they're leading 71-49, if they're to win that match, the Joeys are to beat the Sharks and Broadbeach beat Windsor, the Raptors will go from 4th down to potentially 8th.
Yeah.
Definitely 7th. So they'll go down to 7th.
Yeah.
So they'll go from 4th to 7th and miss out in finals completely.
As a result of their points differential, yeah, spot on. So it could be a lifeline there still for Broadbeach. I mean, they're doing everything they need to against the Windsor Centurions. Big leaders at the moment, 64-14. So, as I said, hard to believe they wouldn't be in the top 6, but the way things are playing out for them at the moment, Broadbeach, looks like they might just hang on for dear life. Once they're there, I think like you would say about any of the teams in the preliminary final stage, once you're in there, as we saw evidenced through Event 1, you string 4 wins together, you're an event champion.
Yeah, just getting that little bit of a roll. And that's what we've seen. Some of those teams who have just scraped in, they're almost going out there with that mentality of, well, we're probably lucky to be here.
Yeah.
Let's just go for it.
Yep.
Go for the shots. Okay, plenty of room. Todd must get the shot before the lead crossover. A toucher would be very handy for the Deer Park Club Gold also.
So 18 the margin. That's what you would collect for an ultimate end. Obviously, we've still got the lead shot to sort first. This is the last for Lee now, and he's done enough to get into shot bowl there.
Must make shot.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. If Carlo can hold on to this, their lead would move to 21. This is Deer Park Club Gold's chance to get it back to 15.
He likes it. Can he get a touch as well?
Needs to settle.
And now it's got to stop, and it's not going to. So, yeah, I think you summed that up pretty well, Greenie. That makes what was already a tough ask even tougher for Ray Pearce. Lead shot goes the way of the Carlo Koalas. So they've had 2 for this match. The other 3, of course, going the way of Toddy Trewarn and Deer Park Club Gold.
For the second time this week, Moama Green will not progress through their section.
Yeah. I might back them in to win Event 3, I reckon.
It wouldn't be a silly bet. Would not be a silly bet at all. They got the star power.
How well is this man bowling? And again, probably disappointing he won't be involved in the playoffs and the prelims. Darren Morrison and his Carlo Koalas, but he was saving his best for last here. Likewise, Deer Park Club Gold, as said, is a bitterly disappointing Event 2 for them. They'll need to regroup even. And
Look at this for a shot, though.
it's brilliant from Ray. Gets a touch and gets in for shot as well. Might all be just a little academic. I mean, it's a good start, don't get me wrong, and take nothing away from the calibre of that shot. It brings the margin back to 18, so, you know, that is an ultimate end. Could get a tie, get to that. At worst, I guess the Carlo Koalas have got their bonus point. It's not going to matter as far as the standings are concerned for the top 6, but
Darren Morrison.
how good is he
He's
bowling?
done it once again.
On cue. Like, he's put together a highlights reel in this match that you could pretty much have for most players for the entire tournament. He's done it within 5 ends. This one going to roll in underneath from Razor. Todd was asking for a little touch to maybe try and move that closest orange bowl a touch nearer to the jack. He wasn't able to get that. Thumbs up from the father. Father Hugh Jones has arrived here to catch a little bit of the bowls action. Mum and Dad have made the trek from Bendigo. So just coming to watch, well, I assume they're coming to watch the bowls and not me talk nonsense. But there's Mumsy over there. Hello, Deborah. This
Morrison once again.
Honestly,
incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Yeah. He has just been on fire from go to woe in this one. And as a result, he's going to help propel his Carlo Koalas to a superb win to finish off their event, albeit a disappointing one.
Well, it needs to be a toucher and ultimate end, and that will get them a draw.
I may have gone just a touch early there. I think this one pretty safely put to bed, but here we go with Razor.
That's it. Give it a little bit of heat.
Razzle dazzle, misses everything not to be. So well done, Carlo Koalas. They will run out big winners here. We'll just wait for that scoreboard to update. There you go, 84-45. And as I said, it just flew out of the blocks. 39 shots to the good after those 2 completed ends. And in the end, the margin, well, it's 39.
And our final sectional play game coming up. Deer Park Club Blue up against Bundoora. Looks like the Cuzzy bro Shannon will be sitting out this one. And we will have Ali Forsyth and Mark Casey lining up for Deer Park Club Blue. Bundoora's lineup, we will wait to see. Although Caleb Shaw is making his way to the rink, so then it just leaves one of Joshua Koalas or Ben Winther. We will wait to find out. As Section A starts to take a little bit of shape there. So Port Sorell, this could be incredible. Port Sorell 51, Aussie Cool Joey's 60. 4 bowls remain. We see the completed matches, the Falcons. So they've done enough, and they will feature in the finals. The Melbourne Falcons, after defeating the Raptors. The Raptors await. They await the Broadbeach Bulls, but if they look at the Broadbeach Bulls, they are leading 94-14 with 1 bowl remaining. So
Reckon they can stop waiting, Greenie.
the only hope, there is a hope still for the Raptors.
Broadbeach have cracked the ton, 107-19.
The hope for the Raptors, and that is a huge score, 107. The Raptors need Port Sorell, who trail by 9, to make up those 9 points in the next 2 bowls against the Aussie Cool Joeys. If they are to win that, the Raptors stay alive.
Well, the way the game is placed at the moment, they hold the match, Port Sorell, but there is still a couple of bowls to come. Benny Winther wanders past, just asks whether they're right to start, and the thumbs up from our man Chris Green. They are certainly right to start. We've got Mark Casey. As we said, he would have to play the 3 games this morning. He's out there in action. And now we're just waiting for, I think it's going to be Ali Forsyth. It's just attending to a little bit of equipment, and we should be able to get this one underway.
Wouldn't it be good to give the crowd what they want? Let Case play leader and skip.
Just play all
Double
6.
his chances for touches.
Here's Ali now, has just arrived with us. Now we look at that Port Sorell Aussie Cool Joey's score, and that's flipped again, 60-51, the Joeys lead, and they have first and third. I'd suggest looking at that, there's 1 bowl to come. So we'll wait for the confirmation. Yeah, Phil, our producer extraordinaire, just confirming that for us, as Mark Casey wasting no time, getting us underway here.
Just a touch shy of a toucher too with his first.
A touch shy. It's generous, it's polite.
No change for the Aussie Cool Joeys, so the Joeys will leapfrog. And so the Raptors...
The Raptors will stay
The
in.
Raptors stay in. It's Broadbeach.
Yeah, Broadbeach will miss. So there you go. I did say earlier, it's not something that anything any of us would have comprehended, but the Broadbeach Bulls featuring the one and only Aaron Sheriff, I think, that means they will finish 7th. There it is, confirmed for you, Greenie.
Okay, there we are. So our final standings for Section A, Musgrave Pelicans on top. Wirrallah Gorillas second, so they'll go straight through to the quarterfinals.
Yep.
The Aussie Cool Joeys finished in 3rd, so they'll play the 6th place team.
Great event for them to come back from the way, obviously, event 1 played out for the Aussie Cool teams.
The same story for the Port Sorell Sharks.
Yep, youngest team out there, I'm pretty sure. We haven't had that confirmed, but you would think so. And for them to finish 4th, brilliant effort, well done.
Yeah, and probably the closest to the youngest team as well would be the Melbourne Falcons.
Yeah, absolutely. And the NCE Raptors, who had a bit of a wobble today, obviously started this event really well, but have just clung on. And as I said, Broadbeach, Nugget spoke about it yesterday, that they had to have a different start and therefore probably had to pull something out of the kit bag this morning, and they've fallen short. Their points differential is great, but the bonus point system has really come into play here, because you look at the teams that have finished a point above them, Melbourne Falcons, NCE Raptors, they've both got a bonus point, and that's what's seen them sneak through to the 6 and an opportunity to play off for a money match.
Yeah, well, even the Joeys, 2 bonus points there, and they're 2 points clear of Broadbeach Bulls.
Yep.
Back to the action, though. Bundoora up against Deer Park Club Blue. And, well, this will decide a lot as well. 4th v 5th.
It's a very interesting grouping of lead bowls as well. Not sure the guys have adjusted overly well to coming on here to the TV rink. 4 very short. Good, gee, I don't know, that's at least 1.5 meters, 1.75 meters away from the jack. So, again, I'm sure they'll have that corrected by the second end. But
Yeah, fair to say.
It gives the skips a fair bit of room to move.
Yeah, fair to say. They've got a little bit of room there.
It was Bandura who did end up with the lead shot at the changeover. I've got the mother and father here, Greenie. I might throw it out there on the Facebook page. If there's anyone familiar with the Echuca Moama region, nice place to take them out for lunch. I think it's going to have to be Sun Shout. There's some beautiful cafes, and obviously down through the settlement, there's some nice little spots. But if you have been here recently and have enjoyed some fine cuisine, love to hear your thoughts on where I maybe should take Mama and Papa Jones in the few hours we have. A little bit of downtime before the quarterfinals this afternoon.
Just quietly, I now know where you got your moustache from too.
Yes, yeah, Huey. One of Wales's finest. He's a tinge greyer than mine, although
just a tinge.
The rate things are going, I won't be too far behind him. I think Hughes had that since the age of 7. And he did try and shave it off once. And when he came home from work, we hadn't seen him in the morning before he'd left for work that day. He came home, got out of the car, no mustache. I think all 4 of us kids started crying, burst into tears. Who's this strange man? Get him out of our house. And I think he was told in no uncertain terms by his lovely wife, Deborah, that that's never to happen again, Hugh. The mustache is here to stay. So, yep. I used to joke, I was convinced, born with it and will probably be buried with it. But, no, he's got the Liverpool top on too. It's the blue version, but it's got the little red logo. So he's another Liverpool tragic.
So Ali's done well there just to get a couple of points on the board for Deer Park Club Blue. Shot and third shot, second shot the way of Bandura. It is 13 plays 8 after one end.
Now, we didn't get a chance prior to this game to do the over-unders on the Casey touches. You've only got 4 ends to play with now, so we'll ignore the first one.
I'm going to leave this one alone.
Are you leaving it alone?
After that first end.
Yeah, it wouldn't have filled anyone with a great deal of confidence, and dare I say it, neither is that. 13-8.
I reckon he's saving himself for finals night. I reckon it's going to be the Mark Casey show tonight.
I'm just having a look here. They're confirmed that they can't miss.
Well, they still need to. Well, they need to win this.
I guess Golden State behind them, 3 points.
But it's 100 and what's that? 155 difference.
It would take a disaster here and something extraordinary there for them to overturn that points differential. So, yeah, that's fair. It's the Aussie Cool Ruse who are the only team who can make their way into the 6, and that would be at the expense of Koalas.
Well, Koalas can leapfrog as well.
That's true. So
we'll leapfrog both of these sides. So it's pretty much the winner of this stays in. If Koalas and the Ruse win, then the loser of this match is eliminated.
There you go. So they actually can drop out. So there is still a bit to play out.
All right, Mark Casey here.
He's weighted it. Decided the deft touch. No point. He's on track here, isn't he? Oh, he's got the touch.
He gets the toucher. So he gets 3 points. And that stays in the ditch as well. It's probably better actually now. Because what it does is it gives Ali a nice little chance on his forehand. Depending where this final bowl of Caleb Shaw for Bandura finishes.
Yeah, Caleb up there, probably rocking one of the better mullets here this week at the UBC.
Yeah, there's some.
Hasn't gone the shaved sides that seem to be the in vogue haircut these days. Just more traditional, just the long setup all around. Mark Casey's got a few feathers out the back too.
He's always stylish. Don't worry about that. Yeah. You know there's a dinner coming up or something special when there's a visit to the barber.
It's a few bowls short here, and it's Bandura, who hold first and second. Deer Park leading by 5. Benny Winther just to that high side. Weight was good. About a metre past the jack. Now to Ali Forsyth. One of the Kiwi superstars. Will take a touch off his own bowl. Almost got through there for shot, just falling short. So now back to Australian pairs champion Ben Winther. This one's going to pop out the back. Both of our skips with one bowl each to come. Really tight, low-scoring contest, this one so far.
Okay, Ali, down on his forehand. Not overly excited. Probably needs a clear run, if anything. Or does he get it own? Yeah, he either needed the clear run completely or to get all of his. Just that slight touch has straightened it right up and gone through the gap.
Yeah, so Bandura holding first and third. I'd love to sneak the way into second. You see Ali just flicking the mat out to the side, not overly thrilled with his last bowl or just even the way this end has gone in general. That's a great bowl there from Ben Winther to actually push Bandura up to the first and second shot bowl. 26-19 the score, and they now lead this one by 7 after trailing by 5.
A couple of the other scores, Benny Moama Black, 21 lead Golden State 3. So Moama Black are charging on there. Kawana 27, Adelaide Heat 12, Exodus 16, Southern Stars 11. The Aussie Cool Ruse, they want to be in the finals. They are leading the Western Wolves 21-3 halfway through N2.
Yeah, well, so far the result here on this TV rink is going the way that the Aussie Cool Ruse need it to. A lot to play out naturally, but they're doing their job over there on rink 5.
Here we go, the great man. Ah, what a shot, Mark Casey.
There's 2. I can't believe he said he wouldn't get a toucher in this match.
I just said I wasn't predicting, not that I wasn't confirming.
Yes, well, he's since that conversation, because we did miss the entire first end, he's gone 2 from his last 4 bowls.
Caleb Shaw, he's had a really good game so far, hasn't he? You know, that even though it was a bit of a spray on the first end, that second end he's played a couple of real good ones. This end, he started off well. Mark Casey, can he continue to deliver here? He knows how much this means for the Deer Park Club Blue. Finishes in good areas. The winner of this game plays finals. The loser,
Yeah.
well, more than likely not.
Yeah, it's worked out well for us for a live TV rink perspective to have a game with so much riding on it to finish up event 2 and the group games. Look at this. Toucher.
And the toucher.
Yeah, well done, Caleb Shaw. Fantastic.
Well, I think we could be seeing this heading into the ditch. Similar shot to his last bowl in the last end.
It's not going to be far away.
Needs to get down. He's done enough. That's 3 points, and that is the lead shot at the crossover. Big bowl there, Mark Casey.
He's up to 3 for the match. And that's now, well, in fact, that's 3 of his last 4 bowls have ended up in touches.
That's almost the same as the whole event 1, yeah?
Yeah, very similar. Very similar. And that was spread over 6 matches.
It just shows how quickly things can change.
Yeah, absolutely. So as you said, the 6-point play there, lead shot and the toucher to Deer Park, and they are now just trailing by 1. Really exposed Jack, so as I said, that's a great start from Ben Winther for Bandura. Still plenty of points on offer in this end. What can Ali Forsyth come up with here?
End of the run here. Needs to do at least enough to get third. He's done that.
See Caleb there saying to Ben, if you could just get past yours, that would end up pretty handy. So let's see if Ben can execute on those instructions. And the pace looks good. Suggests he's absolutely pulled them off to a tee. So Ali Forsyth still with 2 bowls to come.
Going to try and get the bowl.
This game really befitting essentially an early knockout final.
He's looking for it. He's still watching. Case is still watching. Okay, well, there's some sort of... There has been movement, which it helps. His 2 orange bowls are a bit closer now. He's also obviously still got the back toucher and his bowls run onto the back. Ben Winther needs another one in there.
This one is going to go to the wire, you get the feel. But the momentum of the game hinging a lot on these last 2 bowls. This looks nice from Ben. He's going to sneak around to almost get a touch. Oh, very close. Gee, that's a wonderful shot. Absolutely wonderful shot. He's in there for third.
Second even.
Second, okay, wow. On the clock, and looking at the setup for Ali, this has got weight. Off.
Well, he removes one of the bowls.
So I think it'll be shot Bandura, second and third. No, we're going to measure. As I said, such a huge importance on this match. No.
No, Case has just said, you've got it, bud.
Yeah. I think Case, he might have just heard about lunch being served and wants to get this one sorted nice and quickly. But, yeah, what another topsy-turvy end. Great bowling from all 4 players, 39-36. It's Bandura who lead with 2 ends to play.
And Benny, talk about games changing. The Western Wolves now lead the Aussie Cool Ruse 24-21.
Okay.
So what that means is the loser of this match wouldn't go out.
No.
But there's still 3 ends remaining in that match. And 2 in this.
Moama Black doing a bit of a number on Golden State. And Koalas likewise with the Adelaide Heat. Probably start to... This is good from Case
Mark
again.
Casey gets a toucher.
Oh, wow. He's making a mockery of this sport at the moment. It's 4 now for the match. And that is 1, 2, 3, 4 touches from his last 5 bowls. Crazy. After that first end, we were worried he was going to get one to the jack.
Yeah, the bookies thought they were getting all their money back there.
Can he do it again?
I think he's going to be happy to pass here on the high side. He gets to that last blue bowl's almost perfect.
Yep.
That's what he's done.
Score's all tied up off the back of that toucher as well. Of course, these guys out here won't know what's happening in that Aussie Cool Ruse game. The only one who might have some sort of insight would probably be Shannon McElroy, who might be half watching this, half watching that. But he will definitely be on the ultimatebowlschampionship.com.au website /scoreboard. Mark Casey with his 3rd and final bowl of this 4th end, and this is tracking nicely as well.
He'd love to just fall out there. He's done. That's the
Yep.
near perfect end there. If you're not getting touches, setting it up like that, and all of a sudden, Deer Park Club Blue have taken the lead.
Yeah, another lead shot. That's consecutive lead shots now for Mark Casey, Deer Park, after Caleb Shaw had taken the opening 2 lead shots. So Now it's back to Benny Winther, who's got to play this with more weight. How's his line? It's just going to miss out to that high side. So Ali Forsyth now. First and second with Deer Park Club Blue, so they've positioned themselves nicely for this fourth end. And Ali's just going to pop that as close to the tee as he can. It's not a bad roll.
Yeah, for Bundoora, Ben Winther needs to change something here. He can't be facing this same head with his third and final bowl at the end. He's watching it. Caleb Shaw's watching it. What's the sort of connection?
It's like he can pass the front.
He gets that up.
Oh. Yeah, look, not a bad effort.
He's done enough to get second out of it. Ali would love to draw a toucher here.
It's just going to turn too much too soon. So still 2 bowls to come in this fourth end. Projected scores 57-44. But I'd be very surprised if it stayed the same following this bowl here from Benny Winther.
He looks to be a bit tight too.
Yeah, that is tight. You're right. So perhaps they will stay the same. The old commentator's curse there, but you won't be too happy with that one, Benny.
Chance here for Ali, the Deer Park Club Blue. After this bowl, we'll also have a look at some of the other scores and what they mean to the final standings.
So if he can work through here off the jack, he's got a couple of bowls behind it. Still very much alive for an ultimate end, plus a toucher. Also probably likely clear that blue bowl out as well. It needs to do some turning. It needs to go quickly. I don't think it's going to, so...
Pace was brilliant.
It was, wasn't it? Just not quite the line. We have very much a live end to come and to finish things off here. Now, Day 2, Event 2 group matches. 44 Bundoora, 55 Deer Park. We've penned it as almost an elimination final, but that might depend on some results around the other rinks. What do you got for us, Greenie?
Yes, Aussie Cool Ruse, that's the big match there. So it's the Aussie Cool Ruse v Western Wolves. Aussie Cool Ruse currently in 7th. They trail the Western Wolves 32-40. Exodus 51 leads Southern Stars 30. A win there secures them a top 2 spot. Koalas 69 lead the Adelaide Heat 18. Koalas in 6th. So a win there will keep them inside the top 6. Potentially push them up a little bit higher towards 3rd. Moama Black 48. Golden State 18. So a win there, no matter what the margin, will secure first place for those.
Yeah.
Those players, because they've already got a plus 152 differential. Quite incredible still. Exodus, 7 wins, 3 losses, minus 8 point differential.
Yeah, nice correction there from Mark Casey, his second. Just about a 1.5 foot shy of the jack. So 11 the margin. Bundoora have to make a little bit of the running here, and it starts with Caleb Shaw. Dearly love to get a toucher. Get himself a lead shot. Add 6, maybe even 9 to the tally. I think this one's going to work enough for a toucher, but also will just fall short of getting into lead shot. If they could eat into this deficit, get it back to single figures, well, it'll give Benny Winther something to chase as we wrap up this game and we wrap up our sectional matches here in Event 2.
He's wheeling it on here, Case. He's wheeling it on.
It's got the weight, hasn't it?
He's done enough for the shot.
He has.
And what we'll see here from Caleb Shaw is giving himself a good chance, land that last bowl if he gets underneath and gets a piece of the jack. There we see confidence here on the forehand.
Tight. Yeah, it's too tight. So 3 more to the Deer Park Club Blue tally. And that will take them now to a 14-shot lead with half an end to play. And for all of our tongue-in-cheek banter from our commentary point of view here, Greenie, full credit to Mark Casey. Is since the back of that second end has played some fantastic bowls leading off for Deer Park Club Blue, and A lot of the reason they're in front by 14 is off the back of his lead shots and his touches.
Oh, absolutely. He's taking control of this match from the lead position with the scoring opportunities. 4 touches and 3 lead shot crossovers.
Yeah. So Ali puts that one out as close to the tee as he can. Here's Winther.
Needs to get down here.
It's not going to, I don't think. Greeny, no.
Does he stay on? No, so it's another lost bowl.
Yeah, and I guess that's the other risk you take here, trying to play with more weight to try and disrupt those bowls closest to the jack. But if you do miss, pretty much rules your bowl out of play for the remainder of the end. This has got to turn. If this turns sharper, it's going to be perfect weight. So 2 to play for Winther. Needs to come up with something special here. Bandura, no certainties to make it through to the preliminary finals. He's not going to get the touch he wants, and once again, the heavy bowl, into the ditch he goes.
The really hard thing now, Benny, they've only got 2 bowls on the green. They're 14 behind. So they've got to somehow make both of those count and the next bowl.
Yeah. Just keeping half an eye on that Aussie cool Ruse score, and the Wolves lead by 13 with 1 end to play. So far from done there, but certainly advantage, well, to the losing team here, if you will. This looks good from Ali. Just couldn't get past his front bowl, but as you've alluded to here, Greeny, it's going to take something miraculous here from Benny Winthrop. Trailing by 14. They need the ultimate end, because even first and second wouldn't do it.
They get first and second and a toucher.
A toucher, that's true.
So needs first, second, toucher.
That would see them win by 1. So can he do it? He would go down as one of the all-time great shots if he does. Geez, it's not too bad. It's only hit his front bowl moving forward, so it's not going to get it done. And an ultimate end, perhaps? Almost, no. I think that fell in to get third, but it's all going to be academic. It's going to be Deer Park Club Blue who win. They will confirm their spot inside the top 6, so they will be playing in the preliminaries. The Aussie Cool Ruse trail by 10 against the Western Wolves with just a tick over half an end to play there. 71-49 the final score here.
That win sees Deer Park Club Blue move into 2nd spot.
Oh, wow.
There is some matches to be played, though. Exodus will hold on for their victory, so they'll jump back on top of that. But what it's done, where's Flem Ken?
No, they're being touched up by the wildcard team.
They are too. So Deer Park Club Blue will finish more than likely 3rd.
3rd, yep.
The only other real one we're waiting for is the Aussie Cool Ruse.
A big cheer behind us, so I wonder what that might mean. I'm sure it's got to do with that game, because we look at some of the others, all very lopsided. It's currently reading 53-43, and we can see actually that has extended the Wolves with a touch of 56-43 with half an end to play. The Wolves also hold an ultimate end.
So those current scores you see on your screen, you can see them throughout the entirety of the UBC sectional play. You head to ultimatebowlschampionship.com.au/scoreboard. You can also see the standings for both sections A and B. A reminder of Section A, Musgrave Pelicans, Warilla Gorillas, the Aussie Cool Joeys, Port Sorrel Sharks, Melbourne Falcons, NC Raptors. They have all locked themselves in the finals. The Pelicans and Gorillas straight through the quarters. The Joeys, the Sharks, the Falcons, the Raptors, they will play in the prelims.
So I can actually just see the edge here, Greeny, of this match between the Aussie Cool Ruse and the Western Wolves. I've just stepped aside from our commentary position, and we've got a couple of bowls to go. And at the moment, it's the Wolves all over the jack. It's going to take, well, similar to what we've just seen here, something miraculous from the Aussie Cool Ruse. It's now 59-43 the score, and they're second last bowl is en route, but it's going to miss the target and go through to the ditch. So if I was to make a very bold prediction here, even though they trail by 16, I'd suggest the Aussie Cool Ruse, Greeny, are going to come up short. Des Can just heading back to the mat to deliver his final bowl. Western Wolves, we know, won't be there in the top 6, but they've certainly shaped it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Some of these sides, and they're Event 1 champions, so that's the thing. Aussie Cool Ruse coming up against the Event 1 champions, needing to win that to get into the finals.
Just watching this from Des. It's going to slide around the outside. Not going to change anything as far as the scoring is concerned. So one bowl to come for the Aussie Cool Ruse. And I would suggest, looking at the head, they're trailing first and second. They need an ultimate end would get the job done. Just trying to think if a first and second with a toucher would as well. 15, 30, yeah, that would be a tie. I'm not even sure. I don't even want to know what a tie would do. So let's not worry about that. Here's the final bowl for the Aussie Cool Ruse. I think it's going to miss through the middle. And that's it. All done. Western Wolves will win and the Aussie Cool Ruse will miss out.
Okay, so the final standings there will be Moama Black and Exodus. They will go straight through the quarterfinals. Deer Park Club Blue will take on the Raptors. Kawana Thunder will take on Melbourne Falcons. The Flemken Colts will take on the Port Sorell Sharks. Bundura will play the Aussie Cool Joeys. Nice. All those matches, you can always check the live scores as you can see on the screen. All you do is head to ultimatebowlschampionship.com.au/scoreboard. They will be 2 o'clock matches. 4 o'clock matches is when the quarterfinal action starts. So you can tune back in then. Until then, have a quick look at the website and all the socials for updates.